because I didn't want the Greek to come through wrong, the translation.
Okay.
That's why I did it in American.
Okay, so what would you like me to say to him?
What right here is the ship that my grandpa Johannes Georgios came over on the Macedonia to.
Με το καράβι αυτό, ναι, κατάλαβα, που ήρθε απάνω.
Pete and Mike.
Παναγιώτης και ο Μιχάλης, yes. This Mike,
παππού σας?
Yes.
His grandfather. Michael.
And
this thing.
So
grandfather.
My grandpa, Johannes Georgios, we're third cousins.
Τρίτα ξαδέρφια. Ο Γιώργος Κονδύλης ήταν κάποιος στρατηγός, λέει.
Εμείς είμαστε, μάλλον, είμαστε second.
Second.
Your parent?
Second εξαδέρφια, yes.
Okay.
Second εξαδέρφια.
This is my grandpa, Georgios Johannes.
Yes.
Came over.
This is the same for the grandfather. The same.
My grandpa came in.
The Mike.
Ότι έχουν τα ίδια μάτια.
Mike and Pete.
Yes.
He has his eyes.
Yes.
He has his eyes.
Anche for you, the same.
Well, you look like my dad, my father.
Yes.
Your eyes.
Ναι, είναι με τα ίδια μάτια είναι. Είχε και έτσι τα μάτια αυτά, είχε και ο μεγάλος αδερφός, ο Γιώργος, που έχει πεθάνει και αυτός. Ο πρώτος ξάδερφος του μπαμπάτης.
Okay, so he's saying that there's another cousin that he had the same eyes as well, but he's dead right now.
Okay. Well,
how about what's the name of the museum?
Pete and Mike, I don't know which one. Do you know?
Maybe we get to that.
Nothing. The photo.
Nothing. You don't know.
Oh no!
See, that's Grandpa.
Yes.
Johannes Georgios. He was the youngest.
Okay.
Αυτός είναι ο Γιώργος.
Ναι, είναι ο Γιώργος ο νεότερος, λέει.
Pete and Mike, his older brothers.
Αυτή είναι.
But they came back. They came back to Corinth.
Yes.
And one of them married a very wealthy woman that had a dowry.
Μια πλούσια γυναίκα, ποιος παντρεύτηκε μια πλούσια γυναίκα.
So she's on one side of the cemetery, but the rest are on the which one? That's Mike?
Yes. The grandfather.
Okay.
This Anastasia. The name
Anastastios.
The same for the γιαγιά ήταν.
So Tassos is Anastasios. Yes, it's short.
Είναι το ίδιο όνομα με την γυναίκα του Μάικ.
Okay, so here in Greece we have the custom that a child gets the name of the grandfather. So I am named after my grandfather.
That's what you taught me. I was so happy to learn that when you said of Georgios.
So, for example, if your grandfather was Georgios, you would have to get his name, you know. So
that's my father was George John.
Yes.
His sister is Georgia Joan.
Okay.
And then the youngest child,
Alfonso.
That's Uncle Frank. He's Alfonso because Grandma was Italian.
Okay.
So they had to get one Italian.
Η άλλη μεριά της κυρίας είναι από την Ιταλία.
But Grandpa, in his older years, came over here. In 1965.
1965, όταν πήγε πάλι πίσω.
Ναι.
And they're saying that Grandpa Johannes was born in a little tiny hut by where St. Paul spoke to the Corinthians.
Ότι ο παππούς της, ο Γιώργος, γεννήθηκε σε ένα πολύ μικρό σπιτάκι δίπλα στο ναό που μίλησε του Αγίου Παύλου.
Do you know?
No.
Δεν το γνωρίζω. They don't know about that place.
Georgios that was here, Georgios and Katina.
Yes,
he
I know.
Passed away.
Yes, this finished.
Yes.
When do you know?
Έχουν πεθάνει.
No, they're dead. They're dead, both of them.
But when did he? My brother saw him in 2014 when they came over.
Το 14 ότι τους είδανε, λέει.
Ναι. Ο Γιώργος πέθανε τώρα είναι τώρα 4 χρόνια και η Κατίνα 3.
Okay, so they're both dead for like 3 to 4 years. Katina died 3 years ago.
2.5, Katina, and 92. And George είναι 4 χρόνια, 4 years before, and 91.
Okay.
This is the family, no. George.
They had no children.
No,
I know that. They couldn't have kids. And he was in the military.
Ήταν στρατιωτικός.
In World War II?
Ο Γιώργος ήταν
Didn't he have to
στρατιωτικός.
go to Australia?
No, στρατιωτικός, no.
Πώς ήταν αυτός που είχε κάνει και κυβερνήτης εδώ.
Αυτός.
Όχι, δεν είναι για άλλον, λέει, για τον παππού, λέει.
Ναι, για τον παππού.
Για τον Παρβαγιά, για αυτόν δεν τον ξέρω εγώ για που λέει για τον κυβερνήτη.
Αυτός που είχε κάνει ο στρατηγός, ο Κονδύλης.
Αυτόν λέει.
Όχι, δεν είχαμε συγκεκριμένα.
Δεν είχαμε μακρινή ίσως.
Όχι, μακρινή μπορεί, ναι.
Μάλιστα. So they're saying that they're not related to the general.
That's what I'm confused about.
They're not related.
Not even third cousin.
No. That's fine.
That's good to know.
That's good to know, because I couldn't figure out why, if he's buried way up north, why
Okay.
Why would they
λέμε
think...
για άλλο Γιώργο, το μπερδέψαμε.
Δεν ξέρω, αλλά γενικά της εξήγησα εγώ ότι υπάρχουν πολλοί Έλληνες με αυτό το επίθετο. Ότι
ναι.
Μπορεί ο στρατηγός συγκεκριμένος να μην είναι
συγγενής.
Συγγενής.
Yes, I know.
I have an English.
Yes, I know.
Just wondering, because there's so much I don't know and I want to know so badly. The history.
It's like I just found out there's no Santa Claus.
No. And I don't trust the translation and, on Google.
At the logs. Ναι, συμφωνούμε με αυτά.
Okay.
Αλλά για το στρατηγό Γιώργο, όταν έλεγε τώρα ο παππούς τις ιστορίες, πιθανόν είναι. Εγώ δεν το ξέρουμε, δεν το έχουμε ψάξει.
Okay, so maybe your grandfather, maybe he was related to that General George.
But how?
I don't know.
Because he had pictures, a big picture. Maybe they were cousins, maybe. Or maybe I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm so grateful to meet you guys.
Είναι ευγνώμονη, κυρία.
To the sea.
This is a promise since she was like 5 years old.
Okay.
With her grandpa. She just really wanted to know the family in Greece.
Το είχε καημό από... Γεια σας, καλημέρα.
For the corner.
The corner.
The white. For the white. The corner.
My grandpa
λέει ότι
was
ήθελε
very
από 5
poor.
χρονών να έρθει
Yes.
και ήταν πολύ φτωχός.
Grandpa was very poor and came over on the ship, but he was the only one that stayed. His brothers Pete and Mike had a hard time learning English, and they didn't like the United States.
No, like yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and
αυτό το γνωρίζω, του παππούς δεν τους άρεσε, δεν του άρεσε.
Ότι ο Γιώργος έμεινε εκεί και οι άλλοι δύο γυρίσανε. Ο δικός σας δηλαδή, ο Μιχάλης.
Ο Μιχάλης και ο Πίτη γυρίσανε, ενώ ο Γιάννης έμεινε, ο παππούς της.
Okay. Άρα τον φωνάζουν πιο πολύ Γιάννη παρά Γιώργο, γιατί αυτόν τον λέει πιο πολύ Γιώργο.
Α, μάλιστα.
Τον φωνάζουν, είχε δύο ονόματα όντως, ή δεν το γνωρίζετε.
Δεν το γνωρίζω. Και this η Αναστασία.
your mom?
No, the
grandmother.
Oh, okay.
For the rich.
The rich one.
Αυτή που rich.
Oh, the one with the dowry.
Yes.
Okay.
This another Giannis, the death.
John.
And this John, the same, είναι το όνομα του...
Yeah.
Το όνομα του πατέρα της. Το είχε βάλει ο παππούς.
Ah, ναι. So your father, was he named John?
George John.
Okay, but here they would call him John more.
Okay. My grandpa was John George. My grandpa was John George. My father, that's my grandpa, and then my dad was George John.
Yeah, that's why he said that your grandfather, he named your father the same.
Okay.
Γι' αυτό. Είναι βέβαια, έχει πεθάνει εδώ και 25 χρόνια αυτός.
So that's why my aunt Georgia was the
που είναι
oldest.
στην κηδεία του
So
μεταξά.
she was Georgia Joan.
Yeah, maybe.
She was the oldest, firstborn.
Maybe.
Μάλιστα. Okay.
But I want him to know he can write the names on. He can write on these people.
Okay,
I don't know if it's Pete or George. I don't know. I mean Pete or Mike.
Θέλει να γράψετε τα ονόματά τους, αυτούς που ξέρετε, τα ονόματά τους από πάνω με
This
ελληνικά.
one looks exactly like my father when he was young.
Okay.
Αυτός είναι ο
Μιχάλης.
Μιχάλης.
Okay, so this is Michael. Και η κυρία λέει ότι μοιάζει πάρα πολύ με τον πατέρα της όταν ήταν νέος.
Ο Μάικ. Και αυτός πρέπει να είναι ο Παναγιώτης.
So this is Pete.
So it's Pete.
Yes.
I gotta
There's
write
another,
that
I
down.
don't know.
So
Okay.
Mike's the one
This is
closest
George?
in. That's Johannes Georgios.
Yes, that's her.
My grandpa.
Ο
πατέρας.
Ο παππούς.
Ο παππούς, ο Γιάννης τότε.
Ναι.
Καλά, το λέει και με το όνομα Γιώργο. Θέλει με τα δύο ονόματα.
That's the grandma who was Italian,
Ιταλία είναι η
and
έτσι.
her mother, and her father.
Α, μάλιστα. Ο πατέρας
Είναι από την
And
Ιταλία.
they were
His
from
nephews. This small?
Cantalupo, Italy, kind of by Naples.
Δίπλα από την Νάπολη.
I don't know.
First time to the city.
Τι είναι αυτό?
Who's that?
Κατερίνα.
Oh, no, did they say Katina?
Katina, yes.
Yes,
Katina, yes.
Katina.
There.
She's pretty. She's a pretty lady.
Yes, Katina.
So
Yes.
good to see.
Αυτό, ναι. Katina.
Beautiful.
Αυτό εδώ πέρα είναι ο Γιάννης,
Yannis,
η
Lucille.
Λουσία, η γιαγιά.
Tell him he can
Yes.
write this in
Ναι.
Greek on the
Ναι.
pictures. I would love that if he wants to.
Ωραία, λέει η κυρία ότι αν θέλετε να γράψετε τα ονόματα όποιους γνωρίζετε με τα ελληνικά για να το έχει και στα
This is
ελληνικά.
my sister's and she wanted me to give it to you. It's got her name on it.
Είναι της αδερφής της, θέλει να το κρατήσετε.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay. Μόνο να το γράψω εγώ.
but please write on them in
Papa.
Greek, just so you know who they are.
Are you happy?
I can't stop. I'm so happy.
Οπότε είναι
Oh, you can write on the picture. Don't worry about it.
Να γράψετε πάνω, δεν πειράζει.
I want you to. This is for you to keep. It's a gift to you.
Ότι δικό σας θα μείνει.
Παναγιώτης,
So you can know
Μιχάλης.
it's not for us, it's for you to keep.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
But
The
that's
graph.
good. So when I go home, I can write that down.
No, I think the ink it doesn't stick on the.
Oh,
You need a magic marker.
Yes, okay.
yeah. I wonder if another one might. Try that.
Δοκιμάστε το άλλο.
Well, it's a plastic.
Oh, it's the paper, the shiny paper.
Είναι
το χαρτί.
illustration το χαρτί και δεν
Δεν γράφει. Εντάξει, δεν
You
πειράζει.
don't have a roller ball?
Okay, οπότε είναι αυτός ο Γιάννης.
Yeah, yep.
So here they call him John. They don't call him George. They call him John.
That's Grandpa. Yeah, he was John.
Yeah.
John.
Μισάλη και
Γιάννης,
αυτά τα γράφεις.
Yes,
Πολύ ωραία.
yes.
Yes,
And
okay, Μισάλη.
Sally.
Yes.
That's
Frank.
their son. Their
Yes,
son
Yes.
and his wife, Sally.
And it's Alphonse,
Alphonse.
but we call him Frank.
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 That's just a nickname.
Ο Φρανκ είναι ο...
He was the baby of the family, of Grandpa's 3 children.
Είναι ο γιος του...
Ναι.
του Γιάννη.
Ο μικρότερος
Ο
γιος.
μικρότερος. Πόσους γιος είχε?
How many sons did John?
2 sons, 1 daughter.
Okay.
The daughter was the oldest, Georgia.
2 αγόρια, μία κόρη. Γεωργία η κόρη.
Γιάννης. Είχε αγόρι, το...
Το
The name?
Frank.
Frank.
Frank. That it's Alphonse,
Yes.
but it's like Tassos, Anastasios. It's
Frank,
short.
yeah.
Frank is short.
Francesco's
Ναι,
that's mature.
Francesco's. The second, Frank.
He's the youngest.
Yeah, what's the
third
other name?
child.
The other boy's name. The other boy's name.
My father was George John.
Yorgos.
George John.
Yorgos.
That's her dad.
Ah, yes.
Giannis. My papa.
And this is Georgia.
The
Η
oldest.
Γεωργία. Η μεγαλύτερη, η πρώτη ήταν η Γεωργία.
Georgia Johannes.
Ναι.
And then that's the baby.
Alphonse.
Και αυτός είναι ο Φρανκ, ο μικρός. Αυτός είναι ο
There we
μικρότερος.
go. There's the name, Alphonse.
Alfonso. Alfonso.
Yes.
Alfonso, yeah. Okay.
But I was afraid to do it in Greek interpretation because
Μόνο που
it's
εμείς
not
δεν
always
έχουμε
right.
φωτογραφίες δυστυχώς.
Ναι,
Δεν έχω μαζέψει.
Δεν πειράζει, δεν πειράζει. Λέει η κυρία ότι δεν ήθελε να τα μεταφράσει από μόνη της τα ονόματα στα ελληνικά για να μην τα κάνει λάθος.
Ναι.
I might say a bad word in trying to get a name in there right or something.
Και μετέπειτα είναι ο Γιώργος και η Μητρέλητα.
That's Mary's dad.
Ο πατέρας.
Papa.
Yes.
And mom.
The good, the beautiful. The Kondylis,
Very Greek.
My hair used to be black, but it's not anymore. It's all white now. Now I grow a beard and
Έλα από εδώ.
I'm losing the hair on my head and I'm growing a beard now.
No, it's fine.
It's the Greek in me.
Just a moment. Αν τις πεις ότι έχω ειδοποιήσει και τα άλλα ξαδέρφια,
Ναι,
αλλά επειδή όλοι δουλεύουνε,
Ναι.
αυτές τις ώρες είναι πολύ δύσκολο.
το ξέρω, εντάξει, θα της το πω. So,
It's very difficult for the other guys, for the, πώς τα λέμε,
the other
τα άλλα-
cousins to come because they're working.
Oh, don't, I'm not worried. I'm just so
Δεν την
grateful.
νοιάζει την κυρία.
We just want to be here.
Ήθελε
I just
απλά
wanna be
να δει εσάς.
Οκ, τώρα το πάρω ένα τηλέφωνο.
So,
I
Δεν
can't
τηλεφώνουμε
so
maybe
he's going to make a call maybe if they could
this...
come for...
I'm just so happy.
Να σε καλά.
Ποιος όμως αδέρφη τώρα, ποιος αδέρφη
Ο πατέρας
ο παππούς.
και ο πατέρας της, πρώτα εξαδέρφια. Έλα Μιχώ, τι
Οπότε
κάνεις,
τα παιδιά
καλημέρα.
δεύτερα.
Είσαι εδώ, θε.
Τρίτα.
Α, εντάξει,
Εσύ.
επειδή είχε έρθει η κυρία, αν εμφανιστείς καθόλου.
Τρίτα ξαδέρφια πρέπει να είστε.
Έγινε, να είσαι
Άμα ο
καλά.
πατέρας είσαι, αλλά την έχουμε θεία. Αλλά ήταν ξαδέρφη του πατέρα μας. Δύο αδερφά παιδιά δεν είναι.
Ξαδέρφια δεν είμαστε.
Δύο αδερφά παιδιά.
Ο προπάπους σας ήταν ο Μιχάλης.
Ναι.
Ωραία. Ο προπάπους της με τον προπάπου σας ήταν αδέρφια.
Ακριβώς.
Αδέρφια. Άρα τα παιδιά
Είναι πρώτα ξαδέρφια.
είναι πρώτα ξαδέρφια, ναι, εσείς είστε δεύτερα.
Δεύτερα
ξαδέρφια.
Yes. Ναι, δεύτερα ξαδέρφια.
Second cousins, not third. Second cousins.
Second.
I'm so
Ναι,
grateful.
είμαστε δεύτερα ξαδέρφια.
Εντάξει,
Έτσι δεν πηγαίνει.
ναι, κοντινή συγγένεια είναι.
Έτσι
Δεν
δεν
είναι.
πηγαίνει.
Ναι, έτσι πηγαίνει. Κοντινή συγγένεια είναι, δεν είναι μακρινή.
Ακόμα στο αίμα είμαστε περίπου το ίδιο.
So you're the same. You're the same.
DNA. Τουλάχιστον 25.
25%.
Parents have been here
25%.
twice. And they came in
Όχι, έτσι
19.
έγινε.
Ναι, έτσι.
Κάπως έτσι.
They came in 1968 or 70, and then 1977.
1970-1977. Κάτι.
Ναι,
So,
ναι.
so they were here.
My mom
Είχε έρθει.
thinks she was here.
Η μητέρα της είχε έρθει.
She saw the pictures and she thought she was here, and she said, "Your father." Take her back into the kitchen, and they'd have them picking out things, and she said there was food everywhere.
Ότι ο Μιχάλης, όχι, ότι ο πατέρας σας, ότι ήταν μέσα στην κουζίνα και διαλέγανε φαγητά και ότι τους είχαν ταΐσει πάρα πολύ.
And with your father, he would play cards.
Ότι παίζανε κάρτες με τον πατέρα σας.
Μάλιστα.
She said,
10 χρονών.
Ναι.
she said I couldn't understand him, but we'd smile at each other all the time, and she said he was so nice.
Ότι ήταν πολύ καλός, ότι ήταν πολύ καλή μαζί τους.
And
This is the family?
this is Georgia, Joan,
Γεωργία.
The oldest.
Η πρώτη κόρη του παππού της.
And Georgios, Johannes.
That's your father?
Giannis.
Yes. Ο πατέρας της.
Georgios.
Ο πατέρας της είναι αυτός, Γιώργος, ας πούμε.
And Frank wasn't born yet.
Μας μπερδεύει, Ιωάννης είναι.
Εντάξει, τα λένε, αυτοί τα λένε και τα δύο.
My father.
Oh my God, he looks like my grandpa. What were they then? My grandpa and...
That's 1962. 1962.
So, he looks just like Grandpa John.
Yes, yes.
How were they then? Were they brothers?
Uncle. He was his uncle.
This is the pit. The pit.
There's Pete. Okay.
Yes. The father. Ναι.
And that's
So-
1960.
Pit,
this-
Dinos, Konstantinos. No. No. This is no Pit. This is Konstantinos.
Oh,
This
Konstantinos.
Son for the pit.
Okay, Pete's son. Okay.
Yes. This είναι ο πατέρας, δεν είναι?
Ναι, ναι.
This is my
Oh my
father.
God, they look
Εδώ
so
είναι
much like our family.
Παπαμίμης.
This another,
Πιο μικρός.
πώς το λένε,
Τι είναι?
αδερφός, brother, my brother, my father. The death. This-
That's your father?
No, no.
No, this, Mike.
Μεταξάς.
That's Mike, his
Ο
brother.
Mike, ο Mike. This
Όχι, ο Μιχάλης.
Ποιος είναι αυτός?
Ο Μεταξάς που ήταν,
Όχι,
είχε πάει
I'm
το θείο
sorry.
του Γιώργη κληρονομές.
I'm sorry. And this, and brother, my father.
Η Παρμαλιώτη
Father's brother,
Yes.
Dimitris.
Yes.
Mom and Dad knew
Yes,
Dimitris very
Dimitris.
well.
And
Did he
Ο Παρμαλιώτης ήταν στην
spoke-
Αυστραλία.
is it his son that spoke English? He'd be about 57 years old now. Was that Dimitri's son?
yes,
That might be 57 or 58. He was younger than me a few years.
Ωραία, Παρμαλιά.
I'm 62.
Oh.
But Dimitri had a son that mom said could speak some English, and they were working with each other.
Yes.
I remember
This is-
Dimitri's.
John, brother, my father, okay, and this Christos. I'm sorry. This small Christos. This brother, my father. Christos, Dimitris, my father, and Konstantinos, ξάδερφος, πώς το λέμε, ξάδερφος, the son, my pit.
See,
Son,
my
my
mom and dad met most of them when they were here early in the 60s. 1960s.
Yes, γιατί ζούσαν οι περισσότεροι.
Αυτό είναι το 62 η φωτογραφία.
Okay.
Oh my God, they all
And
look
this,
a
I'm
lot
sorry,
alike.
and this, Katina.
That's Katina.
Yes.
Okay.
The death 2 years.
Years
Δεν είναι η
before.
Κατίνα αυτή.
Ναι,
Κατίνα ήταν στην Αυστραλία και βγάλετε φωτογραφία για να τη στείλουμε στην Αυστραλία.
ναι ρε.
Now George
Όχι
and
Κατίνα αιτία, η Κατίνα του Τίνου. Του Τάκια που
Τάκια,
πάνε.
εγώ είπα.
Ναι.
Katina and Georgios wanted to
No,
have
no, η
children.
Κατίνα this another, the state for USA. The death Katina.
Oh, the Katina that just passed away.
Yes.
Our cousin, I sent you her obituary.
Yes. And this.
I
Στην
know.
Αμέρικα η Κατίνα.
Yes.
Right.
Ναι, το είπε.
Well, did you know Sula?
Sula,
and
yes.
Pete?
Sula.
See, we knew them. Rich has met them. Well, Pete had gone. He died, but Sula died about 4 years, Sula died about 4 years ago,
Yes.
and Katina just last year.
Yes.
But I grew up knowing them. I was at Sula's wedding in 1966.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, that was 1963. Okay.
George Κατίνα, Αυστράλια.
Okay. They were in Australia.
Not here.
Όχι here. The photo is Australia.
When they were in Australia. George is the one that George and Katina, they didn't have kids.
Right.
Ναι.
Σε κανένα.
That's who.
Τους είχαν υιοθετήσει αυτόν που πέθανε.
So they were adopted. The kids they were adopted. They had adopted kids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They don't know.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they could. I knew they couldn't have children.
This another?
My mom, my
Yes.
dad, my mother's little sister, my aunt, my mom's
Yes.
little sister.
Sister, αδερφή. Μόνο που το ξέρω.
Her name is Mary, too.
The rest is a bunch of Italians.
No Italian.
There's George.
Κατίνα.
Yes. We had those pictures of them.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that was a curator at the museum.
Ήτανε κάτι στο μουσείο αυτός, τι ήτανε?
Ναι, ναι, φύλακας.
Φύλακας, yes, okay.
And they were in Australia during World War II? Yes. Okay.
Και κάνανε δωρεά ένα κτίριο στο Δήμο. Τους έχουν στο
That's their children?
So,
Okay, that's George and Katina's.
So they built a building for the museum, and that's how they have their statues in front
Ένα
of it.
πολιτιστικό κέντρο.
Oh, I'd love to take a picture of
Υπάρχει αυτό τώρα
Και
εδώ.
υπάρχουν,
Ναι, ναι,
και
υπάρχει.
υπάρχουν και πρωτομέσους. αφού φαίνεται.
Είναι πάνω στο μουσείο.
Όχι, είναι εδώ πιο πάνω, λίγο.
Δεν θέλω να τους πάω μετά.
Δεν είναι δύσκολο.
Εντάξει.
Πού
Θα
να
πάμε
πας,
μαζί,
θα
μωρέ,
πας,
κανένα
εσύ,
πρόβλημα.
ναι,
Πάμε
ναι,
μαζί.
εντάξει.
Θα πάμε μαζί.
Εντάξει, οκ.
This another?
No,
Kondylis?
no, it's all,
No.
all Italians.
Ioannis, Mana,
A bunch of
Georgia.
Italians.
Yes.
We're here,
No.
Greek.
It's the Greek. That's
Dominique,
my father's sister Georgia.
Η Γεωργία,
Georgia Joan.
η πρώτη, η
αδελφή.
αδελφή του πατέρα της, η μεγάλη.
And she died in
In a while.
Και αυτή είναι, η ίδια είναι εδώ.
Αχα,
she
μάλιστα.
died in 2009.
2009 πέθανε.
That's Georgia Joan. And that's their only daughter. Their daughter Gloria died when she was 13.
Η Γλώρια είναι
Αυτή,
η...
okay, είναι η κόρη της Γεωργίας,
Yes.
η πέθανε όταν ήταν 13 ετών αυτή.
Wow.
She was 13. She had lupus.
Κάποια ασθένεια είπε, δεν κατάλαβα.
Ναι. κατάλαβα.
And that's Maria right there.
Είναι η άλλη κόρη αυτή.
She's the only one left alive. She's 64.
Τώρα αυτή η Μαρία είναι και αυτή η κόρη της Γεωργίας, η οποία είναι τώρα 64. Είναι και είναι η μόνη που ζει από αυτή την οικογένεια.
So she lives by all her cousins up in
Μαρία, ναι.
because that's all she has left.
Ζει με τα ξαδέρφια της.
Εδώ φαίνεται, ωραία.
Aw,
Να, George, το Δήμο.
what an honor. Wow. And when my brother got here, he got off the ship and he said, George Kondylis Museum, and the girl took him right to their house. She knew who he was talking about from the ship.
It took him. He went to their house.
It was my brother that came here
Yes.
in 2000.
Yes, yes.
He
George,
fell in love with
George,
George and Katina. But
After
that's him.
after 1 year's death.
He saw him right before he died then.
Τι είναι.
So
And
this
what
is
year?
my brother Mike. This is my oldest brother, Jim, James,
James. Αυτός είναι.
James John,
Ο
James John.
James είναι σαν το Δημήτρης. Δημήτρης.
My oldest brother is 76.
Ο Δημήτρης είναι ο αδερφός της.
Ποιος?
Ο αδερφός της.
Ναι, αδερφός της είναι αυτός ο ένας.
So that's and
Και μετά είναι ο
that's his
Μιχάλης.
wife and
Αυτή είναι η γυναίκα του
Their two
Δημήτρη.
daughters.
Η γυναίκα του Δημήτρη και οι δύο κόρες τους.
the rest are the husbands and grandchildren.
Μάλιστα.
Και
Και
οι
τα
άλλοι
παιδιά
είναι,
τους.
αυτοί είναι οι άντρες τους.
Ναι,
και
κατάλαβα.
και
Τα εγγόνια.
τα εγγόνια.
Και αυτός είναι ο Μιχάλης.
Ναι.
And this is
Μιχαήλ.
my brother Michael George or Michael.
So
And then his son Michael.
Επειδή εκεί στην Αμερική αυτοί ονομάζουν τα παιδιά τους από το όνομα του πατέρα, όχι το όνομα του παππού, θα είναι το όνομα του πατέρα. Οπότε αυτός είναι ο πατέρας αυτού και έχει πάρει το ίδιο όνομα.
Ναι.
Αυτός δηλαδή είναι ο γιος.
And that's
Αυτός είναι
the one
αδερφός
that's the
της
filmmaker.
Μαρίας.
Εσείς στην ουσία είστε θείος του. Αυτός είναι ο αδερφός της, εσείς είστε θείος του. Αυτό είναι το παιδί του.
Α, μάλιστα.
That's my brother that
Αυτός είναι ο πατέρας της Μαρίας, ή κάνω λάθος?
Όχι, αυτός είναι
Remember?
no, they didn't come here. They
not.
just got to see George and Katina that day. They were on a quick break from the ship. But will you tell him my brother Mike was always in trouble when he was growing up, and they called him Demon, like devil.
Okay. Okay.
And I still call him that.
Ότι ο αδερφός της, ο Μιχάλης, όταν ήταν μικρός ήταν έτσι ζαβολιάρης και τον φωνάζανε διάολο.
He was a bad one. And then that's their youngest son, Pat.
Και αυτός είναι ο άλλος τους γιος. Δηλαδή αυτοί οι δύο είναι αδέρφοι, ο πατέρας.
Ο πατέρας, ο αδερφός της Μαρίας.
Ναι, ναι.
And then that's their wives. And that's my sister, Elizabeth Ann,
Elizabeth.
but they call her Libby. And her husband just died,
Ο Τζέρι. Τζέρι.
Jerry.
Γιατί αυτός ήταν ο άντρας της που μόλις πέθανε.
Ο Τζέρι ο άντρας.
Γεράσιμος.
And
Yes.
she's 74.
Αυτή είναι 74.
And that's her now.
Yes.
And that's me and Maria, my cousin,
Yes.
and my sister Libby.
Yes.
We all used to have black hair.
They're all Greek.
But now we're all growing beards and losing the hair on our head. It's the Greek way. My sister died. This is Georgia.
Η μεγάλη της αδερφή.
She was 55. And her two sons,
Two sons.
Joe and Taylor. This is my mom now.
Yes.
Midge, she's the one that knew your dad well. And I bet
μητέρα
you've
της που
met.
γνώριζε τον
She
πατέρα
played
της.
cards
I'm
with
pretty
your
sure
dad.
Αυτή
she's
που
met
παίζανε
you.
χαρτιά όταν
I have
ήταν.
younger pictures of her too, so
Ah,
you'll,
yes.
you know, from the wedding picture, she's 96 now.
Τώρα είναι
And she's
96, ζει.
She uses a
Bravo.
walker, but she works out every day, and she's
She's
very
good health.
smart. She's like the Catholic Pope. She's very religious.
Ότι είναι πολύ θρησκευόμενη η κυρία αυτή, η μητέρα της.
Something happened to me. I mean,
She's the other Diablo.
I'm the other Diablo too. And then we have children, yours and mine, but no ours. My first husband died when he was 41.
Η κυρία έχει χάσει τον πρώτο της σύζυγο, ο κύριος δεν
So she's the only Greek.
These are
She's the only
me
Me, yes.
That's her.
and my daughter, Alexandra, and my
Anthony.
son, Anthony Michael.
Αντώνης.
That's Diablo 3.
He's the 6-year-old.
Yes. This.
And these are grandchildren.
Yes.
Well,
Daniel.
This is Rich's son, Daniel, and Rich's daughter, Angela, and Jeremy. But we've been married 28 years.
Yes.
That's my
Daniel,
stepchildren.
Daniel, yes.
Stepchildren.
Daniel
This is my
and
father.
Jeremy.
Daniel, Jeremy, and Angela.
Angela.
And then this is my dad that you remember when he was here in 67. Or this would have been 1977.
Μάλιστα, το 1977.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know if you met him or not. And then
This is the family, Maria, the family.
our
you-
children.
Yes.
Yes.
This,
It's just a mess.
That's me when my hair was black.
yes. Until now, this is no problem. Uncle's daughter,
Yes.
the son,
Son. And my
this is-
stepchildren.
yes,
My stepchildren. That's Rich,
yes, Jeremy.
Jeremy, Angela, and Daniel.
Μάλιστα. Ωραία.
And that's my
So
papa.
he would not recognize
George John.
your dad.
George
George John.
Kondylis.
They called him Greek. Everybody his growing up on the railroad.
That's your grandfather?
That's my father.
That's
Oh, your father.
Everybody called him Greek, and that's what they call my brother on the railroad. They all worked on the railroad. Grandpa,
Άρα
Dad.
τους έχουν σαν παρατσούκλι, τον φώναζαν τον πατέρα της Έλληνα και φωνάζουν και το γιο του.
But as
αδερφό
a
της Έλληνα.
fond name, everybody called him Greek. That's just was his
Σαν
name was at work.
παρατσούκλι, έτσι.
Ναι, ναι.
And my father died at, he was 60.
Πέθανε όταν ήταν 60.
Heart attack. Wow.
Από
Bad heart.
Ναι,
Από
καρδιά.
καρδιά.
So that's grandpa.
Ο παππούς της, δηλαδή.
Ναι, ναι, όχι.
Ναι,
Η γυναίκα του.
That's his wife.
ναι, ναι.
Okay.
And Alphonse, where's
Sally?
Uncle Frank? I think his face got blurred out. I don't know. That's Sally. And the grandchildren,
Yes.
Joe, Michael, and Pauline.
Εγγόνια είναι αυτά.
Εγγόνια.
Uncle Frank died at 58, and that was him. And Aunt Sally.
Ο Φρανκ είναι.
Ο Φρανκ είναι ο αδερφός του πατέρα της. Αδερφός του πατέρα της. Είναι ο
That's
Φρανκ.
him. That's the
Και
baby
η
of the
γυναίκα.
family.
That's Alfonso.
Και η γυναίκα του.
That's Frank and Sally before they each died.
Λίγο πριν πεθάνουν. Είναι αυτή η φωτογραφία.
Ο Θεός Μαρίας, μάλιστα.
Ωραίο το βιβλιαράκι.
Ναι, πάρα πολύ καλό. Στυπότατο. Μπράβο του.
Oh, I see. That's
Yeah,
funny.
he got blurred out. Pauline sent that. And
Oh, somebody took a picture of the glass reflection.
Maybe.
oh, the puppies.
Μόνο που είδες, κάναμε βλακεία εγώ δηλαδή. Ενώ μπορούσα να τα γράψω έτσι, να είναι. Κατάλαβες.
Ναι, ναι. Εντάξει, δεν πειράζει. Μπορεί να το φτιάξετε και μετά αφού θα σας το αφήσω.
I always wanted to learn
okay.
Greek, and Grandpa kept saying, "You learn English first. When you turn 10, I'll teach you Greek." And he died when I was 8.
Ότι της είχε υποσχεθεί ο πατέρας της και ότι θα της μάθει ελληνικά. Ο παππούς
you have to learn English
ότι θα
first,
της
and
μάθει
it's
ελληνικά
like,
όταν είναι
oh.
10 και πέθανε όταν ήταν 8. Αλλά εντάξει,
Oh,
κάποιες
there's
λέξεις,
George.
κάτι πιάνει, ναι, κάτι πιάνει.
My
And
brother
this is
just loves
Alphonse's
George.
children.
Okay, so αυτά είναι τα παιδιά του αδερφού του πατέρα της, τα παιδιά του Φραγκίσκου.
Alfonso, Frank.
Ναι. Yeah. Well, we just call him Frank.
Okay,
That's
right.
their son. Joe is a year older than me, and he's dying.
Okay. Αυτός είναι ο Ιωσήφ, είναι εξαδέρφια στην ουσία και πεθαίνει τώρα, είναι 63, είναι πολύ άσχημα.
Τι γίνεται και η Βέρα στην Αμερική με το καρκίνο.
Χαμός γίνεται.
I've
Χαμός
seen
γίνεται.
her.
Πράγμα είναι.
I've
Και ο
seen
σύζυγός της,
pictures of
ο
her.
πρώτος, που από καρκίνο έφυγε, 41.
When people in Greece, there's a picture
Yes.
of
Yes,
my grandpa
yes.
with a lady that looks
My
very
mother.
similar
My
to
mother.
her.
My mother and the son told Kostas.
Okay.
When their husband dies, do they wear all black?
Φοράνε μαύρες τις κηδείες. Ναι, yeah, they
Yes.
just,
Because I have pictures
Yeah.
of Grandpa with the
Yes,
lady
yes,
in all
yes.
black, and that looks like her.
Και είναι 2 μήνες πριν πεθάνει, πριν πεθάνει. Μιλάω. Εντάξει.
So that's 2 months before she passed away. Yes.
Yes. Και εδώ είναι.
78. She was 78.
Και αυτή εδώ
And
πέρα
this
είναι.
is Alphonse, Frank's, their daughter and family, Pauline.
Πάλι η οικογένεια της.
So that's the baby of the family. Well, all of them are gone. My grandpa's 3 kids are all died now.
Oh,
Oh. I just love seeing these.
Κάτσε εδώ πέρα να γράψω γιατί εγώ εδώ τα
Θα
έκανα.
χαθεί η μπάλα.
Ναι, ναι, στο τέλος το μυαλό. I'm sorry, Maria, First.
Oh my God, he looks like Grandpa.
Ο Μιχάλης. είναι.
How are they related?
Marinos.
Oh my God, he looks like Grandpa. They look like they could be twins. Wow.
So your grandfather, he was his uncle.
This is my father, Marinos.
They look a lot alike.
Παρακαλώ.
Wow.
Καλημέρα.
Well, you it's like looking in a mirror with everybody. The mustaches, the eyes. The eyes, I see it. Wow.
Πολύ ωραία.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
so glad to be here.
Η αδελφή, η οικογένεια.
She died. I'll have to tell you this in a...
Εσύ τώρα είσαι 62, 62
62. Yeah.
for you?
Are you 62?
I'm 62. My sister Georgia.
68,
68.
Yeah.
me.
And he's 66.
65.
And you're 25. Well, we're all 25.
Και αυτή είναι η, είπαμε,
Αυτή είναι η αδερφή της, Ελισάβετ,
ναι.
και αυτή είναι η ξαδέρφη τους.
Yeah, that picture, all three Greek. Libby, Maria, and Mary.
Whose daughter was Maria?
Georgia, the oldest daughter of John.
The oldest daughter of John. So she was your...
She's my cousin, my first cousin.
Okay, πρώτη ξαδέρφη.
Just so you can know the Greek American side that came over.
Κάνανε οικογένεια εκεί,
If we had a choice, we'd move over here instead.
Θα ερχόντουσαν
I'd rather
εδώ,
be
λέει, αν
here.
είχαν επιλογή.
Just like Mike and Peter.
Yeah.
We come back here.
It's okay, just a moment, Μαρία, μισό λεπτό.
He
Γιατί
wants
θα χάσουμε την
to
μπάλα.
write it on the post-it notes.
Γιατί θα πρέπει να δώσω αναφορά στους άλλους.
So, because he has to explain all this to the other cousins, so he's
Yes.
writing down everything on post-it notes so that he can inform them afterwards. Because some names got, he couldn't write them.
Well, that's why I wanted you to see what's on the other side of the pond. Oh, look at this! I love
Τέσσερα
it.
αδέρφια μας.
Είστε τέσσερις. Four brothers.
Four
Four
brothers.
brothers. The
Ah,
grandchildren of Michael.
Yes.
All
do you
of,
think
of-
I can? Do you
This
think
me?
I could get? They could send them to my phone. These
Θέλει να τα
pictures.
στείλετε στο κινητό της.
Yes.
Μπορούμε
Will
να...
they? I would love that. I don't know.
Email address, phone number.
Or email. I can give you. It just.
Mail. Yes, yes.
Whatever we can do.
Yes, okay.
Or you could do it to
We
you
have each other's emails.
and then airdrop or
No,
something. I don't
we have
know.
all our emails.
Do you have Viber?
Όχι, WhatsApp μάλλον
Oh,
έχουμε.
Vibo?
Viber. It's an
Δεν
app.
πρέπει να το
I was
δουλεύουν
gonna say
αυτό.
vibrator. I don't
No,
know.
no, it's not. It's like this. It's like a chat. It's like a chat.
Μάλλον έχουν το
Like
don't have
Facebook.
το Facebook και αυτά έχουν.
Mail. Να βάλουμε περισσότερα. Do you have Gmail?
Yeah. Well, Tassos has my
Ναι,
address.
Okay.
Το
Το έχει.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Το mail.
Gmail.
Πες να το γράφεις στο παραπιόι.
I gotta write all this stuff down too. Brought my. Here's another pen.
What's your mail?
Mary, Mary,
Yes.
KONDELIS, and then Rossi, ROSSI.
After the at?
No,
Yeah.
Like this?
Mary Kondylis Rossi
Okay.
at
At?
gmail.com.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, let me check. Okay.
Oh, I'm still crying. I can't help it.
Βάλουμε κι άλλες. Από τα άλλα δεν ξέρω τι γίνεται.
I think the part I don't like is
Thank you.
I was hoping he would remember your dad being here.
Yeah.
Oh, they were 10 years old back then. He said they
No,
were,
back in '77 though, I would have been 17, so you would have been 17.
Όταν ήρθε ο πατέρας
been
της,
about 20.
Εσείς τον
Το
θυμάστε.
77 πρέπει να είναι. Το 77 δεν ήμουν εγώ εδώ.
Άλλη
They stayed for Italy.
So he was in the military. He was doing his service.
Me for Italy, they stay for Italy for university.
She knew your dad though. She remembered Marinos. She remembered him. She just,
The card player.
Mom said, she said we couldn't understand each other, but he smiled. He had this smile. And she said he smiled with his eyes. But he loved to play
Γι' αυτό εγώ δεν
cards.
θυμάμαι καθόλου, καταλαβαίνεις, γιατί ήμουν αρκετά μεγάλος τότε με αυτά.
Ναι, κατάλαβα.
Ήμουν Ιταλία.
He was in Italy. He was studying. Tassos was studying in Italy.
You know what's funny is after they were in Greece, they went to Italy. So, too bad they missed you.
Now I have 2 daughters, me, and they're not staying for Greece, they're staying for Holland for work.
Why?
Why? This the Greece, very problem.
Greece is in a very bad state.
Yes, very problem.
Well,
Big problem, not very.
it's
This in 12 years, 10 years crazy, 2 years for
COVID.
it's been horrible.
After for πόλεμος, πώς το λένε τώρα το...
Με τη Ρωσία,
For any business,
it's very difficult.
So it's,
Okay, this family, I have for one daughter is married, καλά το πω.
Ποιο?
Είναι παντρεμένη.
I'm married, yeah. So one of his daughters is married.
Και έχω και ένα εγγονάκι.
He has a grandchild. Είναι αγόρι κορίτσι. He's a boy.
Oh, and you don't get to see him. Good name.
He has his name.
Good name.
Thanks.
Oh.
This my daughters.
Oh, they're beautiful. Oh, look. I lost it. Oh.
And this, κάτσε μισό λεπτό,
How
να
often
σου
do you
δείξω
get to
και
see
είναι οι
them?
αγάπες μου αυτές, κατάλαβες.
Πόσο συχνά τις βλέπετε, λέει.
And this.
Oh, I want to squish those cheeks. Oh, look, Papa. Oh, look at the beautiful bruises. Look at those.
Εγώ τις αγάπες μου, κατάλαβες. Τις 3 αγάπες μου τις έχω εκεί.
We all use.
He loves them.
Oh,
The 3.
that's gotta be so hard to be away from them.
Ότι είναι δύσκολο, λέει, να είναι μακριά σας.
Yes. Πηγαίνουμε όμως. Πηγαίνουμε.
They visit.
Είναι το December and January.
December, January.
Oh, what a beautiful wedding.
And this.
Oh, his daughter.
And where do they live now?
Yes.
His daughter.
2 years.
Okay, is she natural blonde or does she come out like us too?
Είναι φυσική ξανθιά, λέει. Ναι.
Good. Like, that's not us. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I love this.
Εσύ έχεις ρε Κώστα τις φωτογραφίες. Ο αδερφός μου είναι φωτογράφος, εγώ είμαι...
He's the photographer. He has all the
Oh,
photos.
you do. Now,
Me, no.
He's shown you so many of them.
do we still have okay, I know. Wow, she's beautiful. You need to go into photography. That's beautiful.
Now, will he email those?
Yeah, I think so.
Στείλατε το mail. Yes, he did.
All of them.
I think he did. We could check.
See,
Okay.
well, this is my Google map to where you are.
Ah, yes.
But I wanted to ask you if these are all relatives.
Τα τηλέφωνα αν είναι συγγενείς αυτοί.
In Corinth, or
Αυτή είναι πολύ μακρινή.
you can mark it up.
Okay, so the first one, he's very distant.
Okay,
Very distant.
but then we don't
And
care.
this, no.
Yeah.
But that's you. Is that you?
Yes. With me.
Στο συνάδελφό σας.
Κωνσταντίνος Κονδύλης. Είναι το 31777, ναι.
Ναι.
Yes.
Άρα,
This brother, me.
Now that's this year's.
31-158 είναι το Σαγκουινί.
Μα είναι Γεωργιός.
Ναι.
Μάλλον.
Δεις. Δεις. Και αυτός είναι. Είναι του Πιτ.
Είναι
Εγγόνια του Πιτ.
εγγόνια.
Εγγόνια του Πιτ.
Και οι δύο.
Αυτός είναι του Χρήστου.
Okay, so this is Pete's grandchild.
Okay.
Αυτός
Το Χρήστος. Σαν αδερφός το εικόνα.
So this is.
Pete's grandchild. And he is a cousin as well.
Και αυτό είναι του Χρήστου, το αδερφό του πατέρα μου.
Okay, so he is the first cousin of his.
So he'd be my second.
Yes.
Λοιπόν, εγώ πρέπει να φύγω για δουλειά.
Ναι, να χαιρετήσεις, ναι, να πας.
Έχει λεωφορείο.
And this me, my brother.
Μπράβο. Τι κάνετε εδώ, διαδρομές?
Ναι, θα πάω να κάνω κάτι.
Okay, so I want to write that down that you two are brothers.
Και εγώ οδηγός είμαι στην Αθήνα.
Εγώ είμαι 42 χρόνια.
This is my brother. Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
business.
He's leaving because he has to go to work. He's a bus
So
driver.
glad to
The
meet
bus
you.
driver.
Thank you for coming. I'm so happy to meet
He's
you.
a driver just like me.
I love drivers.
Me too. I was a driver.
He was semi for years.
Είναι οδηγός φορτηγών.
Oh,
42 years
Okay.
bus driver. 35 years taxi driver.
Oh wow!
Okay.
γεια σου Κώστα.
Thank you.
Γεια σας, γεια σας.
Γεια σου Κώστα. This, my brother, Mike.
That's your brother.
Yes, Mike. The same with the grandfather, the same name, Mike.
So it's
Michalis.
ο μεγαλύτερος να έχεις λογικά.
This brother,
That's
Socrates.
your brother.
Yes, Socrates.
We went to Delphi yesterday.
Τι να σου το λέω.
Not soccer dudes.
No, that's not so common. It's not a common name here in Greece. There are guys named like that,
I
but
just think of the mythology.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we have more Christian names than ancient Greek
Oh, okay.
Ότι έχουμε
Okay.
περισσότερα χριστιανικά
Another
ονόματα.
Anastasios.
Anastasios Kondylis.
The reason I was asking
No,
because they were all
nothing,
Corinth,
nothing,
so I
no.
just wanted to know.
No.
Does Dimitri have children in Corinth
No.
or Greece anywhere that
Αν
are
είναι
still
Δημήτρης,
alive?
αν είναι κάποιος.
Who is Dimitri?
Dimitri, well, I don't know. My parents met him when they were in Corinth
Γνώρισαν οι γονείς της κάποιον Δημήτρη όταν ήταν εδώ πέρα.
in the 70s, late 70s. He had a
Κονδύλης.
son. Yes.
Δημήτρης αυτός που το γνωρίσαν εδώ ο Δημήτρης ήταν αδερφός του πατέρα μου.
Okay.
Δημήτρη.
So,
Επειδή ήταν, αυτός πέθανε πριν 10 χρόνια, ναι, πέθανε 80. Δηλαδή,
his father's brother.
Okay.
Δημήτρης.
So there was a second too. Was there a son of that brother too?
Έχει παιδιά.
Όχι, no.
No. Okay.
The same for the George. No.
So would he have been about in his 70s now?
Θα ήταν στα 70 τόσο τώρα πόσο θα ήταν.
Θα ήταν,
I hear kitty cat.
80, 83.
83, he would be
83.
83.
Then my cousin Judy knew him, Judy Costello. She came here and met him.
Was she from the Italian side? Yeah, okay. Κάποια κυρία που είναι από την Ιταλία, που συγγενείς της από Ιταλία, τον είχε γνωρίσει.
And they
Πέθανε του 10 κι αυτός.
they kept in touch for a long time.
Και μιλάγανε, λέει.
Ναι, ήξερα αγγλικά.
Ναι, so he died το 10 πέθανε. He died, Dimitris died 2010.
Mom wanted to know about that because she remembers him too.
He passed away.
They all died so young.
And this, no.
No? Okay. Will you tell him that my sister Georgia in the book she lived down in Texas. She came to throw my 50th birthday party and she died in my arms 2 days later.
Η μεγάλη αδερφή της η Γεωργία γιορτάσανε τα 50 της γενέθλια και μετά από δύο μέρες πέθανε στα χέρια της.
She had lupus like
She
my
had
cousin.
lupus and was sick for what, 20 years?
She wasn't sick until she had her third child.
And that would have been 20 years about? I know, she was sick for a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
But it got really bad toward the end.
but she stayed alive for your birthday party.
Oh, somebody sounds hungry.
No,
Cat.
for the sex,
Oh, it's that time of the
night time for the sex every day. It's problem.
Oh, remember the good old days?
Okay.
I remember those days. He didn't warn you about me, did he?
Okay, now this is the name for the George. Nothing.
No,
Okay.
that's our George
Katina,
that we knew. George and
nothing.
Katina, okay. That's good to know, thank you.
Yes.
When I was, let's see here, on this map, when I was looking for a cemetery,
Ναι, το νεκροταφείο. This new Corinth, no old Corinth. This
But-
new Corinth,
where's,
no old Corinth.
oh, okay,
This new Corinth.
okay.
Oh.
So
Just a moment.
you're an ancient Corinth.
Yes. You took the wrong screenshot.
Yeah.
Too far north.
Sorry, Maria. This now for walk. Και χθες μου ήρθανε yesterday the stay for one group for university for Chicago. The stay upstairs.
Oh, here?
Yes. 12 people.
Wow.
20 days.
Will you please, your English is very good, and I'm sorry I can't speak Greek. I really am sorry.
Λέει συγγνώμη που δεν
Well, that's because your grandpa died
The
too
same
soon.
και εγώ μετά από 40 χρόνια εδώ στη δουλειά και εγώ δεν μιλάω. Μιλάω αγγλικά, μιλάω άλλα γαλλικά και δεν μιλάω αγγλικά.
Because of the restaurant, he can speak a little bit of every language, a little bit of English, a little bit of French.
But what I
Yes,
wanted
okay.
to tell you, if you look at TripAdvisor, the American reviews on Tassos, that's how I found
Thank you.
The rooms are clean and so kind.
Ότι έχετε καλές κριτικές από ανθρώπους από
The
Αμερική.
people are kind and the food is excellent. Everything was such wonderful reviews. And I said, I wonder if we're related. And then that's what I wanted to ask you because Mom saw the pictures and she said, I think we were there. And she said that's where she thought she met your father, Marinos.
Ότι έτσι σας βρήκαν, ότι βρήκανε το μαγαζί, ναι.
Would that have been in the 70s? Were you here then?
No. He was in Italy.
No, but I mean your family, would they have been here?
Yes, my...
Ποιος το έτρεχε το
my
μαγαζί?
father.
Ο πατέρας σας το έτρεχε?
Είναι ο πεθερός μου το είχε.
Α, οκ.
Και η γυναίκα μου.
Οκ.
Είναι η γειτονιά μου εδώ.
His neighborhood. This is his neighborhood.
Okay, his mom thought she was
και
here.
το σπίτι μου είναι ακριβώς το πατρικό, ακριβώς πίσω από αυτό.
So his house, his family house is behind the...
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's
Only
nice.
50 meters. Now they closed. Δεν είναι κανένας. And this, there. Come in, Maria. This house by my father, Socrates. This house.
Oh, he lives there.
This house.
Ζει ο πατέρας σας?
Όχι. This house, my brother.
Oh,
Socrates.
everybody's
Okay.
right next to each
And
other.
then
That's so
this, εκεί που είναι γκρεμισμένο εδώ, που δεν φαίνεται, είναι το πατρικό μου ήταν εκεί.
Αυτό ανάμεσα στην ουσία το λευκό. So the ruins over there, that's his family house, but nobody's staying there at the moment. The house is not in good condition.
This Kostas, only 100 meters. It's
Oh my
the
God,
big
the
one.
ocean. Tassos, are we cutting into your day?
Busy day.
Ενοχλούν στη μέρα σου σε...
Έλα εδώ Μαρία, θα σε δίνω.
You don't have to worry about it.
Θα σε δίνω.
Έλα, ακούς. Πώς το λέμε, μίλησες με το Μάκη. Ωραία, άκους, μίλα μαζί του, γιατί αυτό δεν ξέρει να χρησιμοποιεί πολύ καλά την εφαρμογή και τα λοιπά.
How's my brother? Μιχάλης.
Now, how old is Michael?
Είναι 69, 69.
Okay. Oh,
69
close in age.
67, 80, 65, 66, Konstantinos, and Socrates 65.
Oh, we're all about the same
Yes,
age.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just so happy. Oh, finally.
The big stage.
No, I wanted to see her. We weren't sure that they would. Our trip, because of what's going on with the Ukraine, they weren't sure on travels because we're
She's a
gonna be on
professional
cruise.
warrior.
And then we had to wait till the very last minute, 72 hours before our flight. We have to pass certain COVID tests, and you can't make any plans.
Άρα λέει ότι εξαιτίας της κατάστασης με την Ουκρανία και επειδή μετά αυτοί θα φύγουν, θα πάνε σε πλοίο και επειδή 72 ώρες πριν έπρεπε να τους κάνουν τεστ για ότι δεν μπορούσαν να κάνουν σχέδια από πριν, γιατί δεν ξέραν αν θα τα καταφέρουν εν τέλει κιόλας. Ναι.
And we have to test every day.
Και τους κάνουν τεστ κάθε μέρα.
We had to do it every morning.
Κάθε δεύτερη μέρα.
Every 48 hours.
Γιατί
I
φοβάμαι
suppose
εγώ,
with the restaurant. And so we couldn't make other plans, and that's when I felt so bad because we had thought we would be here Wednesday, and then they changed the dates around.
Δεν μπορούσαν να κάνουν σχέδια και αυτοί νόμιζαν ότι θα έρθουν την Τετάρτη εδώ, αλλά μετά
So that's why I asked David to call him because I didn't want him to be
Γι' αυτό
doing
έβαλε τον άλλο τον
anything.
κύριο να σας καλέσει.
And I don't want to be a rude American.
No. He said it's perfectly fine. You know, he even made a joke that he would beat you up if you keep saying
Oh,
that.
good. Now I got to remember Grandpa's word. What was that word Grandpa said? What was the word I said to you earlier that Grandpa would say?
Malaka.
Malaka. Malaka. It's okay that I can say that now. We've been around each other long enough. Malaka.
Well, he'll let it go this time.
That's the grandpa.
He's saying that this is the first thing that people abroad learn.
Yes. You know, that's all I remember in Italian too.
Και από τα Ιταλικά της βρισιάς θυμάται.
Two guts. Chuchapatu. Vafangu. But I don't know, my dad said, no, don't say. But I remember those words.
Yes. Ναι, είναι οι κλασικές λέξεις ιταλικές.
Ναι. Typical Italians.
Oh, loud too. Loud. So, what did you study in Italy?
Είναι, πώς το λένε, οικονομία και κομμέρτσιο.
Economics and
Manore finished. This very, very difficult for the money. Go back for Greece.
Δεν τελειώσατε.
Όχι.
So he didn't finish because he didn't have enough money.
We were just talking, I was telling him
Το
I
ίδιο και εγώ,
didn't finish.
το έλεγα και εγώ στα μάξι και εγώ ξεκίνησα να σπουδάζω και...
I never finished, I
to
couldn't
go
afford it.
for work after married.
Yep.
For work here.
So he got married, he started working. So this restaurant is from his wife's side.
Και το φτιάξαμε δηλαδή.
Since 1959.
Ναι, το εστιατόριο από πού ήταν, από το 59.
59.
That's why the restaurant is from 1959.
81.
Okay.
81.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Okay.
you would have only been about 3 or 4 if you opened the restaurant then. Oh, God. This is my dream come true to meet you.
Ήταν
I'm so
όνειρό
happy.
Να είσαι καλά, να είσαι καλά Μαρία.
Oh.
Και ρίσε, όχι μόνο εσύ και ο άντρας.
I'm Norwegian. I don't count.
No, you don't come.
Yeah.
Είναι από Νορβηγία ο κύριος, γιατί λέει δεν μετράω εγώ.
My apologies.
No. No, we laugh because of the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Ότι είδανε την ταινία με ένα γάμο ελληνικό.
Αυτή
την κλασική.
I relate.
Αυτό.
The Windex, everything. But my father could speak Greek. He went to Greek school when he was a little boy. And Grandpa made sure that he did. And Georgia did. But
They didn't teach you any?
no, my dad always said, you need to learn English first. It's like, I want to speak Greek.
And then our grandpa said, just wait. But then he died
Grandpa said,
before he was ready to
when
teach
you're
her.
10, I'll teach you. And he died when I was 8. And it makes me mad.
Πήγε ο πατέρας της ελληνικό σχολείο εκεί, αλλά δεν τους μάθανε με τα ελληνικά.
Όπως συνήθως γίνεται.
Ναι.
That's why you have to seize the
To see
day.
my dad's
That's
eyes
why we're
and
here.
yours.
Yeah. You don't know what happens.
Yeah, you don't know.
Well, I'm so grateful.
She's always
Rich
emotional.
has an illness.
Είναι άρρωστος ο κύριος, δεν είναι καλά. Δηλαδή...
And we decided now is the time. We wanted to do this forever. And you can't afford it. And now it's like, who cares? We're gonna do it.
Δεν είχαν πολλά λεφτά για να έρθουν. Δηλαδή δεν μπορούσαν κανονικά να έρθουν. Και πήρε, επειδή αυτοί έχουν κάποια συστήματα εκεί πέρα με την σύνταξη, κάποια από τα λεφτά που θα παίρνεις από το εφάπαξ που λέμε εμείς, κάποια από τα λεφτά αυτοί μπορούν να τα πάρουν από πριν. Απλά δεν θα τα έχουν μετά. Και πήρε τα χρήματα.
Και οπότε μπορεί να κάνουν.
Οπότε, ναι, γι' αυτό ήρθαν. Στην ουσία, πιο πολύ για εσάς ήρθαν, για το ταξίδι. Ναι, και ο κύριος έχει αρρώστια με τα πόδια του. Σε 2-3 χρόνια μάλλον δεν μπορεί να περπατήσει καθόλου. Οπότε γι' αυτό είπανε να έρθουν τώρα.
Καλώς ορίσατε και είμαστε και πολύ ευχαριστημένοι.
He's very happy that you're here.
This is my lifelong dream.
Γιατί εγώ είχα ακούσει ότι υπήρχαν τα αδέρφια πέρα στην Αμερική και ο Γιάννης και τολμώ να πω το 65 είχε έρθει,
65, were they here 65 or 67?
It was earlier. Grandpa was here in 65.
65, ναι, 65.
Το 65 πρέπει να έχει έρθει.
Grandpa, and he was standing by a lady in all black.
Γιατί είχε έρθει σε κάποια κηδεία επειδή ήταν μαυροντημένοι.
I don't know if Grandpa, I don't know if that was his sister.
Εγώ επειδή θυμάμαι εγώ το 65 ήμουνα 10 χρονών και θυμάμαι στο πατρικό που ήταν ο παππούς ο Μιχάλης, δηλαδή ο αδερφός του. Θυμάμαι έναν από την Αμερική. Είχε έρθει και καμία αδερφή.
Was there any sister
I think that was his sister in the picture because his mother died very young. There was a lady in all black.
Okay.
I thought it was a nun at first because she had the habit on
People here when they're grieving, they usually wear black for a lot of days even after the funeral.
I think that was his sister.
Μάλλον ήταν η αδερφή του.
But see, she hadn't gone abroad.
Tassos said that he had heard
θυμάμαι εγώ κάτι
that you
έτσι,
were
πολύ σαν όνειρο έτσι από την Αμερική που είχαν έρθει.
He had heard that he had relatives in the States. He had heard that, and he can remember some parts of their visit back in 65.
Γιατί δεν δίναμε σημασία, απλώς ήταν τα αδέρφια του παππού από την Αμερική.
Ναι. It was just distant relatives from the States, you know, that's what he thought. That's what he thought, yeah. And he was just 10 years old when they came, so he
Yes.
θυμάμαι έτσι, δεν...
Well, see, my parents came over because one of my father's best friends his wife died. He was very poor. My father gave him whatever money he had at the time. This man became very rich, and he brought my parents over here.
Okay, so ο πατέρας της είχε έναν πολύ καλό φίλο που είχε προβλήματα οικονομικά και ο πατέρας της δεν είχε πολλά χρήματα, αλλά τον βοήθησε επειδή ήταν κολλητός του τέλος πάντων, και μετά ο κολλητός του έγινε πλούσιος και αυτός τους έκανε δώρο το ταξίδι μετά εδώ και έτσι ήρθανε.
So he brought him over here, and that's when they met the family, and then he brought him again later.
Και μετά τους ξαναέφερε.
He never forgot.
Άρα αυτός τους έφερε.
In the 60s and the 70s.
Ναι, γιατί τότε ταξίδια για να έρθεις...
Ναι, αυτός
τώρα είναι δύσκολο, όχι τότε με 30 μέρες...
So the first time he was too young. Second time he was in Italy.
He was in Italy that second time.
So that's why he didn't quite. You were too young, and then you were.
That's when they met.
Ότι την πρώτη φορά ήσασταν 10 και τη δεύτερη φορά ήσασταν στην Ιταλία, ότι γι' αυτό μάλλον.
Ναι, και δεν.
So that's when they met Marinos and Dimitri. I don't know was it Dimitri or Christos' son?
Christos, yes.
That spoke the English.
Είναι αδέρφια, brothers. Marinos.
Μίλαγε κάποιος αγγλικά.
Yes, ο Δημήτρης.
His son. Okay, because he was in 1977. He must have been about 12. Mom said 12 or 13.
Ο Δημήτρης ήταν. Ο Δημήτρης ο Χρήστος ήταν 12 το 1977.
Όχι, το 1977, όχι, ήταν άλλος. Είναι ανιψός. Είναι ξαδερφός μου, όπως είναι και ξαδερφός της Μαρίας. Είναι... παραπάνω πρέπει να πω. Είναι δικηγόρος.
He's a lawyer. Ο Δημήτρης ο Χρήστος.
Όχι, κανένας από αυτός. Ξάδερφος.
The son.
No, there's another cousin.
Είναι γιος του Χρήστου.
Christos' son. He's a lawyer.
Yes.
He's a lawyer.
He was the one that interpreted for
mom
with your father, mom and dad.
Ίσως τον δούμε σήμερα αν μείνουν τα παιδιά.
Maybe he's going to come later if you stay.
The son?
Yes.
Christos'
Τους
son.
έχω ειδοποιήσει τα παιδιά, αλλά δεν είπαμε, είναι όλοι τους παιδιά.
He has told them that you're here, but they're all working right now.
Και όλοι θέλουν να σε γνωρίσουν.
They all want to meet you. They all want to meet you.
My mom found out, she just said, this little boy spoke perfect English, and she said...
Μίλαγε πολύ καλά αγγλικά.
Τότε είχε τελειώσει, μάλλον ήταν εκεί στο...
What reminds me of you, your English is so... And you, what you can speak, I'm amazed. And I just... I'm going to learn Greek.
We got zero Greek. We can't do anything.
Θα τις μάθω ελληνικά της κυρίας.
There's something
My
about...
daughters, they speak English, France, and a little bit Germany. Yes.
Well, can you tell me, with George and Katina that passed, he was, during World War II, Mom said she thought he was in Austria because of Hitler and the artwork.
Yes.
Could you tell me about
Τους είχε στείλει στην Αυστρία.
Ναι, ήσαν κρατούμενοι.
Not by choice?
They were held hostage.
That's right.
Yes.
And didn't he sneak away or did he escape?
Εξέφυγε.
Όχι, τελείωσε ο πόλεμος και γυρίσαν με τα πόδια.
So they returned after the war. They didn't escape.
Oh, okay.
Γυρίσαν με τα πόδια.
And it was about 5 years?
They returned by foot. They returned by foot.
4 years. Yes.
Oh my God.
Πολύ περπάτημα.
Όχι, δεν υπήρχαν τότε.
Με πώς αλλιώς θα γυρίσεις?
Δεν υπήρχαν. Όλοι που φύγαν από τα στρατόπεδα, όσοι είχαν ζήσει και πηγαίναν στις πατρίδες τους.
Φαντάζομαι ήταν κι άλλοι.
Με κάρα, ναι, βέβαια. Με κάρα κανονικά.
They were married then?
Ήταν παντρεμένοι τότε.
Or did they come back and
Ήταν
get married?
παντρεμένοι.
Yes.
Ήταν παντρεμένοι. Yes, they were married.
Okay, so she was with him in Austria.
Ήταν μαζί του στην Αυστρία αυτή. Όχι. No.
Σε διαφορετικά στρατόπεδα.
Different camps.
Και συναντηθήκαν όταν τελειώσανε, συναντηθήκαν στον δρόμο.
They reunited back when they were walking back. They reunited their caravans back
When they
in
got
Greece.
back here.
Yes, well, on the way.
Oh, okay. All right, different
They
camps.
found each other on the way.
How did Hitler, was it because of his knowledge with the arts?
Γιατί τον πήρανε τον...
Αντιστασιακός, ήταν ενάντια στο Χίτλερ και είχαν μαζέψει εδώ στο χωριό, είχαν μαζέψει πάνω από 200 άτομα και τους πήρανε για εργάτες στη Γερμανία, εχμάλωτους. Γιατί κάποιοι χτυπήσαν οι αντάρτες εδώ, χτυπήσανε κάποιο απόσπασμα Γερμανών και σαν αντίπεινα τους μαζέψανε και τους...
Μάλιστα. So because he was in a group with other people fighting against the Germans, and they killed some of the Germans the Germans, to punish them, they took them away and made them work in Austria. That's what happened. They made them work.
Αντίπεινα. Αντί να τους εκτελέσουν, τους πήραν εχμαλώτους.
They were held hostage, you know.
Held hostage, okay.
And they made them work in Austria.
Θέλανε εκείνη την εποχή μάλλον εργάτες, αλλιώς θα τους είχαν εκτελέσει.
Yes. They needed labor. That's why they didn't kill them, because they needed men to work, because all the German men were fighting. They needed men to work.
Όπως συνήθως γινόταν. Και ήταν και λιγάκι καλός εδώ ένας, από ό,τι είχαμε ακούσει, ένας διοικητής Γερμανός. Και δεν ήταν εσύ.
It's a lot of time, especially if I wanted to go fast.
Yes.
It's a video, so do a dance or something.
Okay.
See the old guy.
Pump it up.
He's only got one eye now that works. Oh, thank you. I saw your pictures online.
Η κυρία είναι πολύ χαρούμενη.
In fact, I got to show you this. This is when I was looking you up.
Σας έψαξε, λέει, στο Google ότι έχετε πολύ καλές κριτικές από τα δωμάτια και από τα...
Okay, so is this?
Είναι η μαμά μου.
That's your mom. Okay, that's what I found online.
Κάπου τη βρήκε.
Είναι μέσα που έχουμε από τις κριτικές που έχουμε βάλει μέσα.
Well, what I wanted to tell you was, this was after my brother Mike came back from meeting with George and Katina. At first he thought that was Katina. And he was wondering if George was still alive.
Έχουν έρθει, η οικογένειά της έχει έρθει πιο παλιά. Το 65, το 67.
Α, τόσο παλιά.
Ναι, και είχαν έρθει εδώ.
Ναι, στο μαγαζί.
Στο μαγαζί.
Το πάγανε.
Γιατί στον Παρπαγιώρη, στον Πάρπο, στο Γιώργη δεν είχαν έρθει.
Ήταν όλοι οι Κοντιλέοι, ήρθαν εδώ στο μαγαζί. Ποιο άλλο μαγαζί ήταν τότε το 67?
So how did you
67.
Δεν υπήρχε άλλο μαγαζί.
How did you kids meet?
Πώς γνωριστήκατε, λέει.
Πολύ δύσκολα. Ίδια γειτονιά.
The same neighborhood.
Από πάνω μένω.
Just a small community.
Yes. And με Ευαγγελίο.
Oh, ball and chain. He does that? I'll get him.
That's when the general comes
It's a
out.
universal language.
Yeah, he meant that she's put him in chains. That's what women do.
True.
That's what women do.
Yeah, that's our job. So, so what did you do when you were in school? Or was that before?
Όχι, μετά, όταν τελειώσαμε το Λύκειο και μετά.
After high school.
After high school. So then
Maybe
you were
24.
25 και
24
21, 22.
24 to 25, 21.
And no.
And you haven't killed him yet.
19.
He hasn't killed him yet. He hasn't killed him yet.
Ναι, τελείωσε 18.
Και 20.
Ναι.
20 προς τα 21 παντρευτήκαμε.
20. Μάλιστα.
Το τύλιξε.
I bet you miss your daughters. That's got to be hard having them.
Σας λείπουν οι κόρες σας.
But like you said, that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
You grow up, you get married, you leave.
That's what my daughter did. She's way over on the other
ότι λέει έτσι
side.
κάνουν τα παιδιά, ότι μεγαλώνουν, παντρεύονται, φεύγουν, τα χάνεις.
Έχει παιδιά η κυρία, πιστεύω εκεί.
Έχει 2 παιδιά. Έχει 2 παιδιά. Έχει μια κόρη και ένα γιο.
Α, πολύ ωραία.
Και οι δύο παντρεμένοι.
And this is so beautiful. Everything, the flowers, the trees, it's just beautiful here.
Γεια σου, Ελένη.
Ότι είναι πολύ όμορφα με τα λουλούδια και τα δέντρα. Της αρέσει πολύ.
Είναι χωριό, εντάξει.
Ναι, το ξέρω. Μα και αυτή, μην φανταστείτε, δεν είναι από κάποια μεγάλη πόλη. Είναι πάνω πολύ βόρεια στην Αμερική και στα σύνορα με τον Καναδά μένουν. Μινεσότα.
Μινεσότα.
We left.
Chile.
We lived in a big city, kind of like Athens.
Μένουν σαν μια μεγάλη πόλη.
Called Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
And we left because it's getting so violent. And I left my job of 20 years because I was afraid to go
Ήταν
to
πολύ
work.
βία, ότι ήταν πολύ... Ήταν κακή.
Ναι, τόσο πολύ, δηλαδή τόσο πολύ. Να φοβηθεί να φύγει.
Τι να σας πω, αυτό λέει.
So we moved to the country.
Μετακομίσανε και αυτοί στην ουσία επαρχία μένουν.
We wanted a simple life, and I quit at work early just so I could be with my husband while he's healthy and we're happy and we
επειδή ο
don't care.
κύριος έχει πρόβλημα υγείας και επειδή δεν έχουν ακόμα πολλά χρόνια, γι' αυτό μετακομίσανε για να τον χαρεί κιόλας λίγο πιο πολύ, να είναι μαζί του.
Εσύ τι δουλειά έκανε?
And our backyard is a cornfield.
Και έχουν καλαμπόκι. Έχουν καλαμπόκι στον κήπο τους.
Literally in the
It's a
country.
farm town.
Είναι μεγάλο.
Everybody grows corn.
Εντάξει, εκεί πέρα τα σπίτια είναι λίγο πιο μεγάλα από τα δικά μας.
10 φορές.
The whole town is 2,000 people.
2.000 κατοίκους.
Μικρό.
We have no grocery
stoplight.
store. We have one restaurant, 2 restaurants, a fast food place, and we're 16 miles from a small city.
Δεν έχουν μπακάλικο, τίποτα. Και έχουν ένα εστιατόριο, λέει, και ένα φαστφουντάδικο. Ναι. My village has 1,000 residents. It has several grocery stores and restaurants. Εγώ είμαι λίγο έξω από τη Σπάρτη. Είναι ένα χωριό που το λένε Ξηροκάμπι. Αν ξέρετε τα ΚΕΜ, το στρατόπεδο που κάνει τους μαγείρους, από πάνω, από το ΚΕΜ.
I want to get pictures of you too.
Πολύ ωραία. Μάλιστα, οπότε και εσείς από χωριό.
Ναι, και εγώ από χωριό. Εντάξει, τώρα μένω στην Αθήνα.
Φυσιολογικά.
The ball and the chain. I'm gonna get slapped here.
Say cheese. Or tomatas. Spano.
Ναι.
Πολύ ωραία.
Και η κυρία με τι
Με τι ασχολείται? What was your line of work? What did you do?
I was a receptionist for a
Law firm.
corporate law that did litigation.
Ρεσεψιόν σε μια μεγάλη δικηγορική εταιρεία, υποδοχή στην ουσία μπροστά.
And he worked for Seagate Technology.
Κάποιοι υπολογιστές έκανε ο κύριος.
Two jobs.
Yeah.
First one, I'm a driver.
Truck driver.
Πρώτα ήταν...
I drove a semi-truck till I was 40 some years, and then I decided, because I did have education, and I decided maybe I should use it, and I moved to Minneapolis for a job.
Στην ουσία αυτό που μου είπε στα αμάξι.
I like electronics. I like the computer stuff. I don't like that I had to go to the big city.
Okay.
To get.
So that happens here in Greece as well.
Right.
Everybody has to move to Athens
Yeah.
or Θεσσαλονίκη. Ο κύριος ήθελε, αυτό μου το είπε στα μάξι, ο κύριος λάτρευε τα φορτηγά. Ήθελε να είναι φορτηγατζής. Και ο πατέρας του τον ανάγκασε να πάει να σπουδάσει. Και ήταν φορτηγατζής μέχρι τα 40 τόσο του και μετά δεν ξέρω γιατί αποφάσισε να το αφήσει και να πάει να δουλέψει σε εταιρεία με υπολογιστές, αλλά δεν του άρεσε που έπρεπε να μετακομίσει στην πόλη για να πάει να το κάνει αυτό.
Αυτά, η τεχνολογία μόνο σε πόλεις.
Ναι, το ξέρω.
Υπάρχουν, δυστυχώς, ναι.
See, when my grandpa immigrated, they ended up, Mike and Pete also went with him, and they all worked on the railroad as laborers.
Ότι όταν πήγανε ο Μιχάλης, όταν πήγανε ότι δουλέψανε στο σιδηροδρομικό σταθμό σαν εργάτες.
And when Grandpa got married, he was 28 and Grandma was 14.
Ότι όταν ο παππούς της, όταν ο παππούς της παντρεύτηκε ήταν 28 και η γυναίκα του ήταν 14. Εντάξει, υποθέτω άλλες εποχές.
That's almost twice the age.
Άλλες εποχές.
Well, when they met, Grandpa, he used to tell me this story. Grandpa was a bachelor and he didn't cook, and Mike and Pete, they all just did laboring for the railroad because they couldn't speak English. And so he went to my Italian grandpa and asked if he could hire my grandma to cook for him.
Okay. Λοιπόν, το πώς γνωριστήκανε στην ουσία ο παππούς με τη γιαγιά, ο παππούς της με τη γιαγιά της, ήταν επειδή ο Μιχάλης, τέλος πάντων, ο Γιώργος, ο Γιάννης, δεν ήξερε καθόλου να μαγειρεύει τίποτα και επειδή τα άλλα δύο αδέρφια κάτι λίγο πιο πολύ και πήγαιναν και δουλεύαν στο σιδηροδρομικό σταθμό και έπρεπε ο Γιάννης να μένει πίσω να μαγειρεύει, ας πούμε, για την οικογένεια, αλλά επειδή δεν ήξερε να μαγειρεύει, πήγε στον πατέρα της μετέπειτα γυναίκας του και του ζήτησε την κόρη του για να του μαγειρεύει στο σπίτι, για να μαγειρεύει στα αδέρφια. Και έτσι έγινε.
He married a 14-year-old cook.
She baked bread
Και τους έφτιαχνε ψωμί, ας πούμε.
Ναι, εντάξει, τότε τα κορίτσια δεν πηγαίνουν ούτε γυμνάσια, δεν πιστεύω.
Μιλάμε για πολύ παλιά τώρα.
Ναι, τα είχαμε για δουλειές. Στο σπίτι.
Ιταλίδα.
Δεν κατάλαβα από το όνομα, το επώνυμο.
Ναι. Είναι μισή-μισή.
And grandma's was, they went on a couple of dates. And her brother had to go with them. They needed a chaperone.
Ότι όταν ο παππούς ζήτησε τη γιαγιά για ραντεβού, ότι πήγαινε και ο αδερφός της μαζί.
And because they were from a poor Italian immigrant family, Grandpa said, or her father said, you can marry her because then it would only be 7 kids at home.
Ωραία. Στην ουσία ο πατέρας της κοπέλας την έδωσε επειδή ήταν πολύ φτωχή αυτή και λέει ωραία θα τη δώσω για να είναι λιγότερα στόματα να ταΐσω στο σπίτι.
And it's so funny because Grandma she was born in the United States but she was broken English because her mother couldn't speak English at all. And Grandpa would get mad and yell in Greek, and Grandma would say something in Italian, but they knew what they were saying.
Ο ένας φώναζε Ιταλικά, ο άλλος ελληνικά. Καλά και είμαστε και οι δύο λαοί, είμαστε φωνακλάδες.
And Grandpa drank, his coffee was like mud. Black coffee.
Ελληνικό καφέ.
And Grandma would tease him because he'd put 5 spoons of sugar in there and half milk. But he liked black coffee. Really dark coffee.
That's very close to our Greek coffee.
It was, and he was so excited when he came back over and got the real coffee.
Kondylis Ρώση.
Ρώση είναι ο άντρας της.
τα κρατάνε λίγο. Εκεί τα κρατάνε λίγο τα επίθετα.
Δηλαδή... Όπως έχει η κόρη σου, δεν έχει.
Περίμενε.
Wait a minute.
Το Ρώσο όμως έχει από τον άντρα.
Όχι, το Ρώσι, ο άντρας της είναι από νορβηγικής καταγωγής. Το Ρώσι είναι από τη μεριά της μητέρας της που ήταν Ιταλίδα. Και τα κράτησε και τα δύο, ναι.
Ήμουν λίγο μπερδεμένη με το.
Όχι, τα κράτησε και τα δύο άντρες της. Ναι, μπορεί. Δεν ξέρω πώς το κάνουν εκεί πέρα.
Actually, I am Italian.
He's a northern.
But I
northern
look like my
Italian.
mother. My mother was Norwegian. So that's why I have Norwegian hair. But I look like my dad. I look like my dad with my mom's hair.
Yeah. His father
You know,
was
Italian, Norwegian.
Νορβηγία.
Nordic.
Norway.
Νορβηγία.
Yep. His mother Norway. His father Italy up by Switzerland, kind of.
Βόρεια Ιταλία.
Yeah, right on the border,
That's why he's got the
almost.
blue eyes.
Ναι, Νορβηγία περισσότερο.
And his
He
mother
married a Swiss girl and then came to
to
America.
But when I was doing the ancestry, they had
Research.
3 spellings to our name. Kondelis, Kondilis, and then I find out it's Kondyllis.
Why?
That's why I couldn't find anybody. All the spellings were different.
Γράφεται
Ναι, το Κοντήλις.
Κοντέλης
Ναι.
και με το I
Well,
και
when
με
they-
το E.
My parents said Kondelis. The ones, Alphonse
Kondelis.
says Kondylis.
Kondylis, yes.
And Grandpa said Kondylis. So everybody got mixed up.
Ναι, το Y και το E είναι...
Wasn't there a Kondylis too?
Well, Mike, Pete, and Grandpa couldn't speak English when they got to America, Ellis Island. So
And
the
they
person
just
that-
write down a name for him.
the person at Ellis
Όπως τα
Island,
γράψανε, όπως τα γράψανε που πήγανε
Ναι, το γράψα ότι όταν τους είπε, επειδή δεν ήξεραν αγγλικά και τους συζητήσανε πώς σε λένε στην ουσία και αυτός δεν ήξερε πώς να το γράψει με λατινικούς χαρακτήρες, ότι το κάνανε,
στο ελληνικό.
ναι, το κάνανε λάθος και μετά τα άλλα δύο αδέρφια
that's how we spell it.
Καθόλου. Πολύ δύσκολο.
Ναι, στην ουσία αυτό το λένε
That's
Κονδέλης.
the American,
Ναι.
because
Ναι. Γεια σας,
Γεια.
καλημέρα.
Τους εξήγησε ότι εμείς έχουμε 5 τρόπους να πούμε το «η», να πούμε, ναι, και ότι αυτοί στην ουσία έχουν...
Με Y και με I, ή όχι.
Ναι.
Το Κοντήλις.
Ναι, με Y.
Με Y περισσότερο.
Yes.
that's why when they got to Ellis Island, they had 3 different spellings for the 3 brothers. Because
ότι
an
τα-
American wrote it down as they tried to say their name. That's all they could. So they spelt it 3
Στην
different
Αμερική
ways.
αυτό όντως θα προφερότανε Κονδύλης. Κάπως τέλος πάντων που είναι, ναι, όσο πιο κοντά γίνεται. Και επειδή τα άλλα δύο αδέρφια το γράψανε πιο σωστά, ας πούμε, στο δικό μας το σύστημα, στην ουσία όταν πήγανε και τα 3 αδέρφια είχαν διαφορετικά επίθετα μεταξύ τους. Ενώ ήταν ένα.
And so then
Και το δικό της, επειδή ο δικός της ήταν ο μόνος που έμεινε, γι' αυτό το δικό της, οι άλλοι δύο γυρίσανε, γι' αυτό το δικό της είναι αυτό που έμεινε στην ουσία το επίθετο. Και αφού ήταν έτσι γραμμένο,
Με το ε.
when Grandpa finally got his citizenship, he came over in 1912.
yeah,
He did not get his United States citizenship until 1932.
ωραία.
And it was because of a man in the records department
Yes,
of the state took a liking to Grandpa.
and that's why,
He got him registered in schooling.
okay,
They taught him the alphabet. They
Okay.
taught him
How old was he when he first got in the States?
When he was 17,
Okay.
when he immigrated, and he was in his late 30s when he finally got his citizenship.
Οπότε πήγε και στα 17 του 1912, δεν του δίνανε την υπηκότητα, την πήρε το 30 τόσο, την υπηκότητα, επειδή κάποιος εκεί πέρα από το δημόσιο τέλος πάντων τον συμπάθησε και έτσι του τη δώσαν την υπηκότητα. Και ότι τότε τον βάλανε να μάθει αγγλικά και... Ναι, στα 30 τόσο του ας πούμε.
And that's his 14 and 28. Look at the eyes. Grandpa's eyes and your eyes look so much.
Αυτό με ποιο μπορεί να μοιάσει από τους... Πιο πολύ σου φέρει, πού σου φέρει πιο πολύ αυτός?
Αυτό είναι στο Βαρβαχρήστο.
Στον Βαρβαχρήστο.
Και στον παππού το Μιχάλη μοιάζει πάρα πολύ.
My mom and dad said that when they were there, George took them to where Grandpa was born, and it was right where St. Paul spoke to the Corinthians. It's a little...
ότι όταν είχαν έρθει την προηγούμενη φορά, ότι τους πήγανε εκεί που είχε γεννηθεί ο παππούς της με το δικό σας τον παππού, που είναι ένα μικρό σποτάκι. Από ό,τι έχω καταλάβει θέλει να το δει.
They were very poor.
Απ' έξω το δούμε, γιατί μένουν άλλοι τώρα.
So it's occupied by another family right now. It's changed.
Somebody lives there?
Yeah, it's changed a bit. So, but he can show you from the outside.
Oh, I would love to see that. My parents saw it, and I know, but I'm just...
Ναι,
Στην Παρμανίνη.
Α, ναι. Α, εκεί ήταν το πατρικό. Το αποκατέ του Βαρβαχρήστου που μετά κάνανε.
I know that his father died, and I don't know how long Pete and Mike stayed, but they didn't stay in the States because they had a very hard time with English, and they didn't find a wife, and they just didn't like America.
Ότι γυρίσαν επειδή δεν βρήκανε γυναίκα και δεν τους άρεσε.
Δεν τους άρεσε, ναι. Δεν τους άρεσε και γυρίσαν Ελλάδα.
See, I would love to live.
Πολλή δουλειά δεν τους άρεσε. Από ό,τι μου έλεγε ο πατέρας
ναι.
πάρα πολύ δουλειά και δεν τους άρεσε τόσο δουλειά. Έφερε να μάθετε πέλτες σε εισαγωγικά.
Ναι, καταλαβαίνω. Εντάξει, εμείς οι Έλληνες είμαστε πιο...
Έτσι μου έλεγε ο πατέρας μου, δεν τους άρεσε τόσο πολύ η δουλειά. Γιατί εκεί ήταν όλο...
Το ξέρω, μα και αυτοί.
Σαν μετανάστες που ήσαν εκεί, όχι Αλβανοί τα πρώτα χρόνια που έρχονταν εδώ, ήσαν...
Χειρότερα.
Δεν ξέρω αν έχεις διαβάσει, μιλάμε ότι χειρότερο υπάρχει.
Δεν έχω διαβάσει.
Να κάνουν, που τους βάζανε να κάνουν τη γέφυρα στο Μανχάταν, να κάνουν τους σιδηροδρόμους και
ναι, αυτό κάνανε.
Τέτοιες δουλειές. Και στην Έλλη, ξέρω εγώ, που έχουν γράψει τα ονόματά τους, δεν ξέρω, έχεις πάει στο νησί που γράφανε τα ονόματα όταν πηγαίνανε μετανάστες.
Have you been in Ellis Island? They wrote their names when they arrived at the...
I've been to Ellis Island, but they didn't write their names because they couldn't.
Δεν τα γράψαν τα ονόματα τους.
Δεν τα γράψανε.
Ναι, δεν τα γράψαν, δεν μπορούσαν να γράψουν.
That's what messed everything up
και γι' αυτό έγινε και με τα ονόματα.
Και με τα ονόματα μάλλον.
Ναι.
Because they didn't know the Greek alphabet.
Γιατί είχα ψάξει εγώ που ήταν στο site και είχα βάλει τα ονόματα και δεν βρέθηκε.
Μάλλον γι' αυτό.
So they went by how it sounded, and Mike, Pete, and Grandpa all had 3 different spellings.
Γιατί πήγανε με ότι τα λέγανε εκεί πέρα στον άνθρωπο που τα σημείωνε και αυτός από τον ήχο προσπάθησε να τα γράψει με γράμματα έτσι.
Είναι και αυτό και το ίσως
το ε.
So that's how our whole family got so screwed up on the spelling.
Yes, but that letter here, the E.
The Y.
No, that letter, the E, that's E here, E. So here, if you wanted to say this word
that's
here,
how my dad says,
yes,
Kondelis.
Kondelis.
That's what my papa.
Και σαν όνομα ξεφεύγει δηλαδή από το Kondylis.
Ναι, ξεφεύγει.
See, and even there are many in America that spell it with an O, Kondol.
Kondolis.
Kondolis. That's what happened at Ellis Island.
Μπορεί να το...
And there are...
It's just whoever wrote it down.
Ποιος ήξερε τότε να γράφει?
Καλά, αυτοί δεν ξέρανε ελληνικά, εμείς δεν ξέραμε αγγλικά, ενώ νομίζω δεν θέλει και πολύ.
Ναι, για να... εντάξει, το γράψε εκεί πέρα ένα όνομα.
Ναι, άντε πάρε να φύγει.
See, there's a lot of our family, the different spellings on the East Coast by New York. There's a ton of them. And I don't know if they're relatives of ours.
Ότι υπάρχουν πάρα πολλά παρόμοια επίθετα εκεί πέρα και δεν μπορεί να καταλάβει αν κάπως υπάρχει κάποια συγγένεια.
So that's how our spelling got so screwed up.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least you found them. So...
Oh, I was so excited when I got Tassos and...
Ότι της λέω τουλάχιστον ότι έγινε το λάθος με το επίθετο, της λέω τουλάχιστον τους βρήκα και λέει ότι είμαι πολύ χαρούμενη, μου λέει.
Γιατί έστειλε τα email στο μουσείο.
Ενθουσιασμένη.
Και λέει τώρα Κοντέλης, ποια θα είναι τώρα.
Ναι, ήταν παιδί.
Σκεφτόμουν να απαντήσω, να μην απαντήσω στο email. Και στείλει κανένα 2 φορές στο μουσείο μου φαίνεται και η Μαρία και ο Πίτερ.
Επειδή δουλεύανε εκεί.
Ναι,
και λέω,
κάπου σε κάποιο...
Τώρα θα είναι τώρα...
Τους ξέρει, τους έχει και φωτογραφίες.
Ναι, λέω επειδή δουλεύανε εκεί, αλλά όταν ακούσανε σαν όνομα μπορεί να ήταν λάθος.
Άμα θέλετε τις το λέω, άμα δεν θέλετε δεν τις το λέω. Θέλω να της το πω ότι...
Ναι, κανένα πρόβλημα.
Μήπως είχε γίνει λάθος, άλλο η κυρία μπορεί να μην... Εμείς λέγομαστε Κοντήλης, αλλά αυτή νόμιζε ότι είχαμε το ίδιο επώνυμο με αυτήν, Κοντέ, καταλάβατε.
Ναι.
Και λέγαμε μήπως έχει κάνει κάποιο λάθος.
Όχι, αυτή Κονδύλης συστήνεται. Απλά...
Αυτό που περιμένει, αυτό λέγαμε, ναι.
So, when they first received the email that you sent at the museum, they thought that at first maybe it's a mistake, nobody realized that you were related because it's written that way.
I was legit.
Yes. They didn't know
because of the spelling.
Yes, because of the spelling, and they didn't know who to refer to.
Στο μουσείο, επειδή δουλεύει η νύφη μου, η γυναίκα του Σοκράτη, και είναι Κοντήλης,
ναι.
Και λέει δεν το παίρνω εγώ μετά από 2 email. Γι' αυτό τον λόγο μου το έδωσε εμένα, πού να το ξέρω εγώ.
Ναι, κατάλαβα. So, his brother's wife, she's working at the museum.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how, and she's Kondylis, so she realized maybe something is going on here, and that's
και
how.
Μου το έφερε εμένα, ναι, οπότε...
Boy, I started up.
Και μου το έφερε εμένα, ναι. Και μετά από σκέψη το πήρα, λέω, ας απαντήσω.
Κοίτα να δεις όμως,
Άσε να απαντήσω.
Ήταν η κόρη μας εδώ.
Λέω, άσε να απαντήσω.
That's why you're
Sorry,
here.
I'm determined. I wanted to find my family.
Ήθελε πολύ να σας βρει. Δηλαδή...
Όρισε, μας βρήκε και την είδαμε.
I wasn't going to give in, I had to find them.
Τώρα θέλει να πάμε να δει θέλει να πάμε να δούμε το Γιώργο και την Κατίνα.
Would you like to go and see the statues at the museum?
Να πάμε και στο νεκροταφείο.
And then the cemetery.
I would love that.
Και μετά να ετοιμάσουμε κάτι να φάμε.
And then something to eat.
Oh, I'm just so happy.
Πεντανόστιμη. Φέρα.
Better than the tzatziki?
No. It's just I said that it's very tasty.
No, I did get a piece, yeah. Do you cook a lot?
Μαγειρεύεται πολύ.
Or does your wife do most of the cooking?
The first wife and the second small. Λίγο, όχι πολύ εγώ.
You better help.
He watches his wife.
Δεν ήταν και δουλειά μου.
You
That's
better
his
help.
job.
Μου είχα τελειώσει και τουριστικά επαγγέλματα.
You should tell him
Δεν είχα καμιά δουλειά με τα φαγητά.
what your dad told you.
Αλλά ξέρεις τώρα.
Don't marry a Greek.
Εννοείται, σε κάνει και το μαθαίνεις.
It's a joke.
Εγώ είμαι περισσότερο στο δοκίμασμα.
Μάλιστα.
Με την γυναίκα μου.
He likes what happens
Τι
after the
λείπει, τι
cooking.
δεν λείπει. Τι λείπει, τι δεν λείπει, πώς είναι.
Especially when he helps cook.
They take a meat beef.
Beef.
Oh my God, that looks good.
Πάρε ρε Γιώργο μου, μην τρέπεσαι εσύ.
Βάλε
Κάτι σου είπα, είσαι οικογένεια. Πάρε χάμα να μαχαίρι, κόψε, πάρε.
The potatoes and
Πάρε, πάρε. Μην μου το κάνεις σαν μια θεία που με έβαζε τέτοια καλά να τρώω και στο τέλος δεν τους έγινα στο σπίτι της κοτέτης.
yeah, thanks. Thank you. That's
Δεν
plenty.
πήγαινα στο σπίτι της. Έλα, τρέπεσαι.
Oh, so good. So good. Oh, I'm sorry.
Κάτσε, no. Να είσαι μακριά από εκεί.
She's always sorry.
Oh my God, your potatoes. Mm.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Τίποτα, πάρε και κρέας εκεί πέρα.
Okay.
You want beef? Huh?
Yes, just a little bit. There's so much food here. Oh my God, this is a feast.
It is.
Μετά έχει τζόκιν, Μαρία.
You go on a diet tomorrow.
After τζόκιν.
You've been working all this. Oh my
Κάπου
God.
έχει.
Έχει.
Thank you.
Like this?
Yes.
Συγγνώμη, δεν το έκοψα.
Thank
Έχει και
you.
το...
You want some?
I do have some.
Oh, okay. Then I'll try
Oh.
this.
Okay, you've got lemon, the
Yes,
potatoes,
sure.
and the olive
With
oil,
Yes.
oh,
Add more.
oregano.
And the oregano, small and more and orange juice.
Orange
bit.
juice, that's what the
And
sweetness.
more and the brandy. Cognac. Little bit brandy.
Oh,
Did you know that?
Very tasty.
Oh,
It is
that's
small
what.
and one glass wine. Wine.
Oh my God, this is
This is the tasty. This everything.
brandy and a little bit of wine, and then with the potatoes. No wonder it tastes so good.
A little bit orange juice. And
about to carry you home.
Orange juice, lemon. Oh my God.
this
I've
is
never
tasty,
had so
this
much
is
flavor.
Tasty, yes.
But you can taste each thing if you take the time to. Oh my God.
No more, a little bit.
See, I just love.
Yes, it is small.
Well, the fresh vegetables.
Yes, it's more.
We can't get that at home.
Το μοσχάρι είναι απίστευτο.
Just in the
Yeah.
summer.
Everything gets
Απίστευτο.
shipped from California because it's too cold to grow anything in Minnesota, except in the summer. Then you have to harvest all the tomatoes at once, you know, in a couple weeks' time or a month. But that's the only time you have vegetables, fruits in Minnesota.
Um,
Τα μαζεύουν όλα μαζί το καλοκαίρι
Ναι.
γιατί...
Ναι, αφού δεν μπορούν το χειμώνα, τι να κάνουμε.
the United States have had so many freezes and such horrible winter this year, even in the southern states, that they've lost most of their orange and a lot of their citruses. They lost the whole crops this year. And avocados, they can't get anything.
Χάσανε τις οδείες των εσπεριδοειδών φέτος.
Το ίδιο και εδώ. Από το κακό καιρό. Το ίδιο και εδώ πάθαμε ζημιές και εμείς με τα πορτοκάλια. Πορτοκάλια, λεμόνια. Εμένα τα λεμόνια μου τα κάψανε από τα δέντρα. Δεν πρόκειται να ξαναγίνουν. The me for the lemon.
Oh my God.
Yes, they not for only for the fruit. The tree.
They lost them.
Yes, very snow.
You had snow here?
Snow. Maybe this 1 week.
I bought
We have snow for 6 months.
I bought 6 oranges the other day. 6 small oranges. It was $8,
Ooh.
which is about €6 for 6 oranges.
Too much.
Yeah, we lost everything.
Κάτσε να σου δείξω εδώ τι μας έκανε εδώ πέρα.
So that's Socrates' house on the corner, right?
Yes.
And that's his wife.
This, I'm sorry. This for snow.
Oh my God, I didn't
Yes.
know they
this,
got that here.
This here. This tree.
Oh my God, look at
There.
that's a
Then-
lot.
There.
You had to
How?
shovel.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's just covered. Look at that.
Yes.
That's here. Right out there.
That's not here.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
yes.
right outside the
I
door.
was just kidding.
And that was this winter?
Yes.
Oh, I would imagine up in the mountains, but not down here.
1 week, there's snow there.
Oh my God! I bet you lost
It's
a lot.
20 years, 25 years before the same snow. 25 years.
Can your wife come and join us?
No, little bit for work. This for afternoon for group
Oh, they
to
have
go
a
for
later lunch hour
yes,
here.
for lunch.
Oh. Well, we don't know how late he can work.
Oh,
What time do you have to be home?
What time do you want me to be home?
no, you said 5 o'clock. You wanted to be back.
Yeah, 5-ish.
Whatever works for you. We're on your schedule. That's whoa. Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Does she want him?
Maria μου τέλος πάντων.
Or are they fighting?
It's hard to tell. Love, hate.
They sound like they're married.
Ναι. Ακριβώς.
Did you get some?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Very tasty. Τζατζίκι τρομερό.
Oh, the tzatziki is excellent. It's the best I've ever had.
Και το μοσχάρι.
Απάνω που μένουμε, σε ποιο ξενοδοχείο μένουμε?
Στην Αθήνα, στο Μάριοτ.
Το Μάριο.
Είναι στη Συγκρού.
Ναι, ναι. Ακριβό είναι αυτό μου πέρα.
Do you cook?
Spaghetti, eggs,
You sound like him.
toasts.
Μπράβο. Chips.
I mean, what did you expect?
Hey, my dad.
And sometimes coffee.
Yeah, coffee. But
My dad
I'm too
was-
bored for coffee.
My dad was a Greek, but he was a good cook. Good cook. Uh-oh. Yep, there they go. Oh, he's looking for the other one's territory. Oh, it is mating season.
Εγώ θα βάλω κι άλλο από το μοσχάρι.
Βεβαίως να βάλεις.
Ήταν το κάτι άλλο.
Εγώ είμαι ευχαριστημένος που δεν έχει έρθει κόσμος για να τρέχω σαν τρελός δεξιά-αριστερά.
Closer to you?
Oh, no, it's fine.
That's
It's fine.
okay.
I got what I wanted.
Να σερβίρει.
How about
I'll get one. I'll get one.
one?
Oh,
now
those
you're
are so good.
talking like her. Are you watching your figure?
No, I'm not.
You can tell I don't.
So Tassos, did our whole family move from the other village to Corinth?
Τώρα, τι μου είπες Μαρία μου, κοντρικά
έλα.
κατάλαβα.
Oh my God, this is the best
Ναι.
cheese.
Έχει έρθει το μαύρο του Φίλιππου. Ο Φίλιππος ρωτάει, ο Φίλιππος έχει αφήσει αμάξι. Ναι. Αυτό. Ναι, αυτό το έχεις οδηγήσει ποτέ? Λαγκούνα.
You
Ωραία.
take time
Την
for
κάρτα τη
yourself
βάζεις δεξιά από το
and go
τιμόνι.
down to the
Πατάς στην
beach.
μπλέκτη
Or...
φρένο, πατάς το stop για να πάρει μπροστά. Εντάξει.
Did you when
This
you were
only
a kid?
for work.
Έλα, θα το δεις.
You walked that far?
Είναι λίγο βαρύ σαν να αμάξι, είναι αέριο.
Oh, okay.
Είναι βαρύ σαν να αμάξι,
That's
είναι
a
αέριο.
long
Και αυτό
walk.
είναι κάτω
So
δεξιά.
for,
Πίσω, τέρμα πίσω, κάτω δεξιά.
2.5 kilometers.
Άμα θες να βάλεις.
How do you like your new bike?
Yes.
That's a nice one.
Go.
They're nice for
Εντάξει.
going uphill.
No.
Έλεγε.
No.
I'm sorry for this. What were you asking?
I was asking Tassos
Yeah.
if our family all started in that village that's south of here, and moved to Corinth, or if there are still anyone from the family left there.
Υπάρχει κάποιος από τη δικιά σας οικογένεια στις Λίμνες ή είναι όλοι εδώ?
Όχι, δεν υπάρχει κανένας.
No, there's no one from this family still in the village.
Okay. Do a lot of the younger generation of families here, do they leave more now, or are there some that just stay with the family?
Αν φεύγουν, είναι τα νεότερα μέλη της οικογένειας, αν μένουν εδώ.
Από τις οικογένειες φεύγουν τα περισσότερα.
Most of them leave.
Και αυτά που έχουν σπουδάσει φεύγουν. It's more and they finish for
the ones that
school,
have finished university.
Yeah,
they
finished. This for a village, ναι, τελευταία δεκαετία, the last 10 years go for Europe, for state. We stayed, είναι περίπου στα 90 άτομα, 19 people.
Έχουν φύγει.
Ναι. 10 years.
Approximately 90 people have left in the last 10 years.
How many?
Yes.
90.
90 άτομα έχουν φύγει. Και είναι όλοι, πώς το λένε, με σπουδές, έχουν τελειώσει πανεπιστήμια, με μάστερ, δοκτορά. Γεια σας.
Γεια σας.
Hi. Everything okay? Sure, the sun. Yesterday. Είναι από Chicago.
Oh.
Yes. The school.
That's nice.
90 παιδιά έχουν φύγει. Μαζί με στα 90 είναι και οι κόρες μου. Τελευταία δεκαετία δηλαδή, και είναι όλοι οι μετανάστες, οι οικονομικοί μετανάστες ανωτέρου επίπεδου δηλαδή. Κατάλαβες τι εννοώ?
Ναι, κατάλαβα.
Δυστυχώς. Έχουν φύγει πολύ, πάρα πολύ. Και είναι και χωριό που έχει να προσφέρει, δηλαδή μπορεί να ζήσει ο άλλος. Μπορεί να μην ζήσει, αλλά έχει να ζήσει.
Did you get some of this, Tassos?
Yes, no.
Oh God, this is so good.
He's probably eating it every day.
Boy, I'd really be fat if I ate here every day.
Αν ήταν λίγο βράδυ, να φτιάχναμε καμιά πιτσόλα, κανένα σουβλάκι. This for tonight. Something souvlaki, something chops, something lamb.
I love lamb. Everything. Oh my God, this is wonderful.
Oh, just a moment. I'm sorry. Ναι.
Can I ask what happened to your father dying so young?
Oh, his lungs. Well, he had a weird disease in the blood around. I can't remember the name of the disease.
Oh,
Leukemia?
No.
no, but
Not so serious.
but has to do with oxygen getting in the lungs.
Yeah, something like that. And he was smoking. He was eating a lot. He was not obese, but he was fat. And the doctors kept telling him that if you don't watch it, if you don't take care of it, you're gonna have a serious problem. And he didn't. So he had a serious problem, and he could have been kept alive with the help of some machines. But we decided that we didn't want it because it would be like torture, both to him and to us.
Just to be alive at what cost?
Yeah.
You know,
See him suffer?
Yeah. It would have been even harder on me to see him like this.
That
Yes.
young, yes.
I have something similar actually, a blood disease. It's not that serious. It's just that I have to take tests every year. And
Do you have to take medication?
No, I don't. At this point, I don't. Maybe later. Maybe I need to start to take some supplements.
But if you watch your diet and your exercise, health.
No, exercise. I have to stay fit without lifting weights.
Too much.
Without lifting too many weights.
The strain.
Well, the only weights I lift are the ones on the suitcases.
Oh. You don't want her suitcase. Even her purse is heavy.
Hey.
Can you slap me?
No, your suitcase weighed more than mine.
That's because you packed it.
Oh. No, you had your computer in it.
Oh.
See, I would love to live here. Except I couldn't handle it if it got hotter.
What, you wouldn't handle it?
If it got more hot,
it certainly does during the summer. Let me tell you.
I couldn't handle it.
So, last year we had a record high, which is 46.3 degrees Celsius, which is in Fahrenheit. More?
Έλα Μαρία.
Oh my God, no time.
Sorry. That happens all the time. I have a stand for it, but
Me?
Thank you.
Rick?
can you put it down?